Right? All right, too to be alive. Good to see y'all make the press. I know some of y'all ain't took no real COVID test. You just wrote it with a magic mark. You like got to get him for Kareem, but we appreciate it, and we ain't gonna question you about it. I know Kato said he calm. He said one of his kids coughed one of their lungs up. Just shut your mouth. Don't ask him no question. Ain't that right? Say him for Kareem. I had Mike outside with a handful of trash. He want to know where did it go. I told him we still trying to figure that part out. Where does trash go? Anybody know? Mike was still curious. He was just walking around with a handful of trash, wouldn't know where it going. So we just let him keep doing it for a little while. He'll catch on after a while once it pile up. But anyway, it's too to be alive. Certainly appreciate Mr. Yahuwah for sparing our Kai. Giving us another opportunity to be among the living. Give us an opportunity to examine, make sure we get this thing right. Hello? Considering all things. Everything, all things should be considering. If things going well, consider what's going to happen eventually. So it's going to be a turn. If things going bad, consider. You know what I'm saying? So always in considering and making sure I had Austin, I told him my brother found a picture showing them. They found a tractor trailer going to the other lane, supposed to be dodging something and coming back. You know, I told y'all to, do something different? What was y'all talking? Redirect and maintain lane. That's all. Only Sarah, what he did tell me that. He said, Sarah, the only one said something about it. See you in the mail, cool, Sarah. By the way, we four. Then for the record, we four. But yeah, that's what we got to do. I did this morning. I told everybody. I want us to start trying to making sure we're projecting a different energy, because we are energy source as well as energy based, and you have to be mindful of what you put out and what you project. When you do that, sometimes you'll get lights. You might turn them. You say because it's a glare or whatever it is, but you set it to where it's the most effective. And that's what Mr. Yahuwah does with us. He put us to where we're the most effective. Sometimes we might hate the places, hate the situation, hate the things that are going on. But he look at, this is a place that needs the most light. That's why I put you there. I'm going to put you somewhere where it needs light at. Or. You got it? And sometimes that ain't where we want to be. And sometimes you might be the only glimmer of light that's there. But you still got to maintain lane. And a lot of times what we're guilty of is, man, I can't be around all these sinners I've been with you, man. These sinners is just like, man, these sinners are killing me, but you're light. And the only way for somebody who commits kata to get information or to learn about them is to see or hear something. Hello? But sometimes, and I've been guilty of that before, you can hate a situation, hate a place. So as soon as I can, I get out of here. So when you leave, there goes the or. You got it? Y'all can hear they walking, they checking something up down. That wind was blowing so hard it blew something off the bill, and I need to put it back up now. But it's just one of those things where it's too to consider. But if you don't know, you'll take everything as an obstacle to stop you versus I'm trying to put you where you're the most effective. Hello? That is sometimes people, with teachers, sometimes they might get a kid to move it there. The kid pissed. Why I got to move it there? It'll better serve you being moved from where you at. And I hate this. I don't want to be, but I'm putting you somewhere you to be most effective. Not necessarily that you'll be light, but I can get you from being a distraction or get you from being distracted. And a lot of times, Yahuwah does that for us, but when we don't consider it, because a lot of times, as we mature and get what we call adults, it's hard for us to realize we still have to get correction. Even I had to be corrected. There's nobody he takes in that he doesn't correct. Not when you're a child, like I know a lot of, how many of y'all young people can't wait till y'all get grown, you can stop getting whippings and punishment? Where y'all at? Raise your hand high, don't worry about it. So the rest don't, they're in the train here, they like, keep punishing me, Dad, to the grave. Yeah, but even when you become adults, you still have to get correction. See, that's a lot of time what we might not get the physical beatings, but it's the chastisement that we get. And it comes for a purpose, because even when you're an adult, your mind changes. Everybody want that freedom. It's like an animal when it's chained up a dog. You let that dog, anybody had a dog growing up? When your dog chained up in a gate, when that dog got out that gate of that chain, what happened? That dog went coming. That dog, like, I'm going to run in the neighborhood. You could beat me later. I'm out of here. Get back here. That dog run hard. That dog, man, I'm not coming. I couldn't wait to get that chain around my neck. When Henry Grady home, Henry Grady cut that dog out. That dog coming straight that gate. Henry Grady don't play that stuff. He ain't chasing no dog. He cuts that dog out, tell that dog get out and start wagging his tail, put that chain back on his neck. And he pissed. He tell him he pissed. And that dog can read and realize, you're not happy with me. He said, that boy of yours, I don't pay that nigga no attention. But I can tell you don't like this, do you? And Henry Grady pissed. He get over work that dog loose. Get down there. That dog know run on down there and be waiting. Get on the ground, be wagging his tail. Hope he don't get a beat or something. He just put that chain back on him. But that's what happened a lot of times. You know, when we get that opportunity to get that freedom that we feel like we have, a lot of times we'll make bad choices. So Mr. Yahuwah has to reel us back in and get us to realize it's for your safety. A lot of times a dog that been chained up or been caged up, when you let them out, those dogs get hit quick. A dog that been using he don't learn, you know, them close calls done showed him. Or maybe he got hit and got a bum leg and he recovered. He realized, I stay away from them calls. I don't do that street crossing stuff. Now I look, ain't nothing coming. Oh, stupid dog chained up. He jumped in the middle of the street, and that Joe getting folded up out there. Behind be one place, his head another, leg, you know what I'm saying? He tore him like you can put him on for a jacket. And that's what happened to a lot of us. You get used out here. So it's important to understand the operation of how Mr. Yahuwah works. So you don't wind up getting into, you know, where we do it, typically we faint. When obstacles and opposition come, the most logical thing for us is to faint because you're not accustomed with the rituals of how he works. It's not that, you know, well, what's the point of getting this stuff if I'm just going to lose it? I mean, it's a purpose to things. It's not always about losing things. It's about making sure you understand how to possess them and they don't possess you. How things can possess you is because of the servitude you'll put behind it. You know what I'm saying? The ambition, the drive, or the force you'll put behind it in order to try to keep and have, and then we'll soon forget. We talked about before in the scroll of Marshallim, how he talked about he didn't want to get too rich, lest he forget. Here's a man with the knowledge of, or who aspired for the knowledge of Alahym, and he understood what? Why would he say that? Because he was rich before and he forgot? Or no doubt he probably watched people who obtained a lot he could see. I see how people say, oh, you different now, nigga. You know how we say, oh, nigga done got the big head. Nigga done got a little something, now nigga think. You know how we do, how we say, you know, it's slang code. So a lot of time, no doubt, it could have been possible because either I've obtained before and I lost, and I realized my servitude changed. I wasn't as mindful of him or his Torah, direction, instruction. So after losing, I came into an understanding of I don't want to obtain that level. But 9 times out of 10, it was from watching other people. We can all be guilty of watching other people and what other people have. Again, I tell all the time, you don't know what other people are doing. Before you run fast and throw your heart and start talking about what other people got, make sure you go find out what other people are doing. Because a lot of times you'll find out everything ain't what it cracked up to be. I'm telling you, a lot of time out here, you're going to be owned. You get yourself in the right position, people want to own you. Okay, y'all don't have to believe me. Listen, everybody want to be famous. Go ask all them famous people what all they got. The Rihannas and everybody, go ask them. They got contracts. And them contracts bound them to obligations. Sometimes obligations they don't want and they don't agree with, but that's my livelihood now. So a lot of stuff y'all young people want to run out and do, these people don't let you just jump and put no helmet on and pay you and go play the next Sunday game. No, you're going to show up to practice, it fines. You got to come in for films. It's other stuff. You get through playing, you sit here and talk, hey, what, I ain't seen you in a long time. Hey, we finna roll out. You got to go. And you like a kid. You a grown man. You remember that time when LeBron pulled that, Justin? He was out there after a Miami game, and he went to L.A. to play. He went to Ohio. They played in Ohio, Cleveland. And he told him he was going to stay. He wanted to stay and hang out with his friend. And the coach like, you're not staying up here. LeBron said, I'm going to stay and hang with my, you remember that? He called Pat Riley. Pat Riley told him, he said, LeBron, get on that plane. He was hurt. That's why he left. He was hurt. Oh, but because he was looking, I'm a grown, I'm saying, the game over, I'm going to hang out. Them folks tell him, Pat Riley, the coach told him, he said, LeBron, get on that plane. And LeBron, all Mr. LeBron, bowed down and got on that plane. So a lot of times these folks be thinking they're their own people. These people not their own people. Let me say this again. I'm not saying that to criticize LeBron. Please don't. It's just a lot of times people tend to think that having those contracts and doing things allow you to be, these people not their own people. These people control. These people can't say something. This stuff don't agree with you. Better not open your mouth and say nothing about it. Look at, what's the word? Yeah, can you use how that your mama named you? I don't say it I know feel nobody. If he's saying that hurts him financially when people do that, I don't want to contribute to it. I want to give him that space. I think he deserves that respect. If I told you that somebody owned my name, Tony, if you would, don't call me that. Just call me T. Man, F that, I'm going to call you. Why would you do that to me? I'm letting you know, and this is to wise you up, because a lot of times these guys think you can get a birth name, these people own it. All the rights, everything your name on, everything your name attached to. Can you imagine your mother gave you that name, your father gave, and now you sign some paper because you moving fast, and you getting out here, and now you finna be, and you realize these people, how much, really, when the last time y'all really heard anything about him? I don't keep up with it. Is anybody heard anything about him lately? Look how these people make you irrelevant. What happened? He just got married? I missed it. Pregnant before he married her? They gave it back to him? They're trying to come back. Huh? They were losing money without him. I guarantee they come back to him, it's going to be something he's going to have to do too. Don't fool you. Don't let them folk fool you now. Them folk give you a little time to sit out down in the wind. He come back, he's going to be a different man. They know what I'm saying. These folk, look at what's the other one? Kyrie. He got to realize, they understand. Them folk make you apologize for something you ain't said. These folk, man, that's serious. I didn't even say nothing. Why am I apologizing? I want to apologize to all the people. I couldn't have hurt you. I never said nothing. I just said, check the film out. It ain't my film. I just said on social media, and that stuff will cripple you out here. I mean, you think about it as easy as you put a like on something, and the next thing you know, your career could be over. They'll have some kind of way, it's a stipulation in there, you couldn't like something. And you didn't read it, and now you owe them so many hundreds of millions of dollars. Everything is a trick. I know y'all young. Don't y'all want to be famous? From doing what? Doing what? A business? Okay, be famous for owning a business. That's good. What else? Football. Basketball. You know how to shoot basketball? Come on. Come on. Give me a piece of paper. Give me one piece of paper. Get a piece of paper. No, sir. Let's get it to him. Come on. Thank you, Mama. Go put a check up there. I ain't take the ball up. Come on. Let me see that paper. Let me see it. No, let me see it. Open it back up. Open it right quick. What you just get your name on that board. No one, me and him don't get along. Straighten it out for me. Straighten out. Straighten out. Yes, two up in one. Just straighten them out. No, just straighten them out. Straighten out the other one too for me. Yeah, them good. Come on, let's go, fam. I don't like folks trying to get ahead of me. Come on. How do you shoot? Somebody shoot. How do you shoot?
I need basketball.
No, but we're gonna do this. This. How you shoot? No, how would you hold the ball? How would you shoot? Like how? Like this. I'm gonna make a goal. Okay? I want you to shoot it in the goal. Show me how you do it. Go back and sit down. Don't talk about no more basketball. Come on back up. No, don't worry about it. Come on. Don't be talking about no more basketball in here. You know, man, you don't get along. What you think? What you thinking? I love kids. People don't believe me. I love kids now. Anybody else got something they want to do? No, Jimmy, what you want to do? Soccer. Let me see them. Let me just see you kick. It's okay. Come on. Go push them on. No. Do you know how much turf he just tore up? If he'd been when he can't be telling what they want to do, stop him and just look at that. Let them know early where they go. What you want to do, John? You did it like this. Baseball don't go like this. Baseball like this. Let me see it. Come on, let me see you stand. Come on. I know something about everything. What's that? What did you say? Baseball. What it did for baseball? Huh? All right, somebody stand. You left-handed? When you left-handed?
I'm left-handed since I first played.
Since you when?
Since I first played.
First of all, that's the wrong hand. You want to be right-handed. You always want to be right-handed. So see, can you do it right-handed? Let's see. Yeah, let's try the other side. Let's see it. That's the back. Now you want to put that weight on that leg back here. Oh, they don't know. Oh, see, you know, they laugh at me. They don't know I know some of everything. They give that, get. You always want you want to put that weight back on. You want to put the weight back on the back leg. See what I'm saying? You want that weight. The weight got to be back here. You see what I'm saying? Oh, these folks don't know. I done played some of everything. They just get. They stand at their back like this here. And they wonder why I don't go nowhere. Yeah, so we'll work on that. That'd be good. Let me see you swing. Let's try to get out there. Let me see you swing. Let me see. Yeah. Woo. That's a golf swing. Yeah, that's a golf swing. Anytime you come from up here right here. You know what I'm saying? You got to look now. See, you got to remember, there's a window right there. You want that ball inside that window. Don't be swinging. It gotta come inside that window for you to swing at it. Don't be chasing no ball unless you know what you're doing. When you start chasing, you want to make sure that you got a window in there that you know you reaching for, you can get it in order to be effective. They don't know that either. You tell him, ball at him. Get hit in the head. But we'll get with you. Anybody been working with you? Hold on. Somebody been working with you? DAD. D. Hold on, let me write that down. Hold on. Let me see what that is. What's the first letter?
D. A. D.
He didn't tell you about putting that weight on that back leg. Don't worry about it. He didn't. We're going to fix that right now tonight. We're going to check this joker here up all day long. We're gonna work on it. We can't have, but see, you can do anything y'all want to do. Y'all can do it. Joseph, basketball. Oh, we were done. I ain't meant that to you. I started trying to let people know earlier. Did you have something? You had another question? I just checked. Now you got to mess with it. I love kids, but anyway, a lot of times the sports that y'all grew up playing, basketball, football, whatever it might be, soccer. A lot of times what happened, they move from a kid game from being fun to it's a business, and it's a lot of work involved. What you do, like you can get your off season is working, cause you got to be in shape. You remember every year it's another class coming. Every year it's a threat, cause every year somebody coming out. You ain't gonna believe it. They got the same dreams you had. They want to play soccer. You've been doing it for 10, 15 years. You got older, you slower, you got injured. They don't have them. You've been playing, you've been going, you got bad knees. Somebody coming straight out of high school, they project him, go straight to the pros, skip college. So it's always the threat of people got to get. It's a lot of pressure. People don't realize it's a lot of pressure. These industries, the average for people in the industry is less than 3 years. You could come in 1 year, next year, man, you're nobody. You could sit 1 year. I remember Sean Kemp decided to sit out 1 year. Y'all remember from the Sonic? Y'all remember? Sean Kemp was bad, came straight out of high school. What decision he made? That joker started looking sloppy, stupid, and folks will forget about you. You miss a year, they'll forget all about you. So it's a lot of pressure, a lot of time with our people, and I'm not against our people being professional athletes. It's just our people got to know how to think on a level of, in order to maintain and realize it's a real short spurt. The people that stay long, it's certain things they do. You know what I'm saying? Some of them will take HGH, they're going to sneak and do stuff. They'll make other deals in order to be the face of. There's a lot of compromise with these. But y'all remember, when you talking about making it on any one of those great levels, you're playing the best in the world. Nobody coming there that ain't really, really good. People you come from, you might be all city and all country. You see these people, listen, these folks all planet. And all you sit here looking thinking, this is incredible what this person doing. And you'll see it's so many people on that level. So when you got that many people competing, they all share a likeness in ability, it's easy for you to be gone. It's easy for you to be gone. So bad contracts get shoved in your face, bad agents. I mean, it really changes. When you start doing your money, you start looking at taxes. You get taxed in every state you play in. You Georgia, 7%. New York ain't 7%. It's a lot more. So you go play a game in California, a game in New York, a game in New Jersey, it's a lot higher than Georgia. But your contract, you play for a team in Georgia. Then you start looking at, a lot of y'all didn't know that. Oh, you get taxed. You played in that state. That state need that money. You played a game in New York. I don't care about you from Miami. I'm taxing you for playing in New York. That's what they paying you because you played against the New York Giants or the New York Jets. Then I'm going to tax you. Y'all understand that? So it's a lot of stuff that these people are not conscious of, and when they get out here, then they get their feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? They'll make promises, commitment, what they gonna, how much again? I'm buy my mama something. Don't buy your mama nothing till you get out of income, till you get through IRS. Bad man, it's a lot of stuff. Y'all make it, we'll manage it. Don't worry about it. We'll be your agent. We'll teach you how to do it. Because you'll get out here and you get stuck around people, just like our young women. It's a lot of things that you're inspired to do. College debt, it ain't no better. If you're not smart and you don't know how to utilize what you do, college can be very beneficial. So I'm not against higher education. I'm against people obtaining the loans and screwing themselves. Bad decisions. They come over and they get them little stifling checks where they give you. By the time you got some money that you can get, $3,000, $4,000. Everybody get it, get a car, get some clothes. As soon as they get out, that first year, you know what? I'm just gonna go and pay that off. How many of y'all said that first? Look at these four hands. Y'all see these folks? Look at y'all see these people. Now look at the hands. Look around the room. All these folks, they first year they were gonna pay it off. All y'all that paid out y'all first year, leave your hand up. You paid off your second year, your 5th year, your 10th year. You still struggling to try to make the dream of first year. Look at the hands. And they piss what they say. You know, right? I should have paid it off the first year, but this is what happened because people don't educate us about life. See, we don't just want to educate you guys. Your ruach, spirituality, is the most important thing. But let's be practical. You don't live a complete ruach lifestyle because you got to work. Using the bathroom is not spiritual, it's carnal. Farting is not ruach, it's carnal. You have to work a job that's natural. There are things you have to buy clothes. Clothes are not spiritual, okay? They're not ruach. So the things that you have to use in life, do me a favor. I'm going to get you to put your name or get you somebody to write up that for you. Because I kept hearing that drum tapping. I said, what is that? I thought somebody doing Morris Code for a minute. I can hear that. Da-da. Did you know your name was going to go on the board when you got here? I'm going to do that for you because you're a good man. Who? If you had to pick somebody, think about it now. They say, rather than you now, who can go on that board, who you got? That's what we're going to do. We can do that for you, can't we all? Uncle Ted, your name on the board. Somebody we're going to let Uncle Ted do it. But man, every time he drew the T all the way around the back and come back around. We told him to even put the other letters up there. So don't tell him I said it. If he do, we're going to say Haywood said it. How many of y'all want to be saved? How many of y'all want to make it in? We all in this together. All right? All right. So we'll cover it. We'll take care of it. We all together. But again, there are so many things, and people, and I know people might say, why we talk about so many carnal things? Because if you don't know how to adjust and navigate out here, carnal things are why people wind up falling out. Sexuality, sex itself, other things you deal with, ambition. These are things that cause people to crash. So if you don't understand that there is a plight out here to get you off, you know what I'm saying? Just in the world itself. Whether you honest, whether you ambitious for your salvation, or you minded toward it, that don't mean that other things are not out here that set forth to get you off. Y'all got it? That's just being honest. So you have to be ruach spiritual with an understanding on how things work naturally. You got it? Because you don't just, everything. You got people took some spiritual air. No, stupid. It's natural. It really is. Some people try to over-dramatize spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And that's why some people, you'll get people, y'all done met people tell, man, I don't think that you have a brain. Your brain is going to think something. Things are going to enter your brain. You just have to know how not to allow it to make you do something. I seen a woman, she pretty. I'm trying not to sin. You don't have to if you don't put it into, I'm going to take her and put against that wall and put it in a figure 4. Now we get into another. So I'm just using the situation. So you learn how to, you know what I'm saying, pull down things that you know that you wrestle with. You just don't contain it to where you give into it. Because some just came to my mind before years ago. I used to drink. Now I'm going to go to hell. I got to repent. Did you go and drink? Was that a struggle to drink? Things going to enter in, especially things we've done in the past. It only makes sense for Satan to use them. These are things we've done. These are things we pulled away from. So why would I use them to try to pull you back? It ain't like these ain't old loves. So just like you know they were, he does too. And more than just him, it's your flesh. Your flesh been doing it. You know, it's things just like typing. How many of y'all know how to type? How many of y'all can type and you don't even have to look at it? Did you start off doing that? How long did it take? Over the course of time, it became a habit. There's some things you could do. I like driving a truck. If I think about what I'm doing, I'm going to miss gears. If I don't think about it, I just do it. Because I'm doing it, it's just things you just learn how to do with shifting gears. You do it. You've been doing it so long, you just naturally not. If I think about, downshifting, it's like, what the world? Because I don't think about it. I just, it's a reaction. You just do it. You got what I'm saying? So when you pull your body outside of doing something it's been accustomed to doing, it's only natural for the body to try to pull itself back, especially if it's something that it likes, if it's something that it loves. So don't think that it's impossible for old things to come back. You just got to make it where it's impossible for you to go back and recreate the act. That makes sense? So I tell people that because, like I said, people quit all the time. I thought something, I said something, now I can't be saved. And sometimes you'll use that for a rationale for quitting or stopping. Y'all got it. If anything, we readjust. Just like, listen, it's the law that if you cross over the line, you'll get a ticket. Failure to, what is it? But what if an object fell out of nowhere, it was in the lane? Right? If I did it for that reason and I immediately when it was clear got back over, surely the officer would say, at that point, you were avoiding something. So sometimes you say, people go to things. That's how they get anything. No, sometimes things will just pop up on you. Y'all, how many of y'all been riding? Something fell out the back of somebody's car, truck, or something just jumped out there. It'll happen. Things will come up, just like they do in life. But when you have the information, then you know how to combat it when it comes up. The problem we have with us, I'm talking about not here, just everybody is learning how to combat when things come. Y'all got it? We talked about it before, the weapons of our warfare. But through what? Why would he tell us it wasn't carnal? Hands. I say, Lee, you got an answer for it, Lee? I'll take it. Well, think about this. Well, true. But you think about the people, Yasharal were a carnal people. They were very carnal, okay? When we learned about what we call Ruachni with Yasharal, spirituality, was only when we learned that, we didn't know that when they drank, he said they drank from a Ruachni above. We thought they just drunk. Mushah struck a rock, or struck a bar, sewer, a rock. And what happened? Water came out. Ma'im. We didn't know it was spiritual, but when we learned in 1 Corinthians 10, he said they all drank from a Ruachni. You know what I'm saying? That something Ruachni happened. But every event we found them operating in was pretty much carnal. Carnal in behavior and constantly failing. So now we start looking at him talking about the weapons of our warfare not carnal, because Yasharal were big on arming themselves. When it came down to Dawood fighting against Goliath, what did Shaul give him? He came in his armor. He didn't say, you know what, I just want to pray with you before you go. You mind if I share something with you, if I just pray, just do the Lord's Prayer with you before we leave? No, he didn't do that. He gave him his armor. You going out to fight, and remember, the man had defied Yasharal and the Kai Alahym, the living Alahym. So Dawood was going to do what? Fight him with carnal weapons. He took a rock. He took a stone. He took a slingshot. But yet he said he defied Alahym. So now he's telling us that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Our behavior, desire, things that come up, they actually defy. Defy is to go against. So anytime I fornicate, commit adultery, kazal, lie, lust, or steal, or anything that goes contrary to law, these are things that defy Alahym. They go against, just like when a person commits homosexuality. He said they do things which were what was again? See, it's against. It's not in favor of. See, you can go with or you can go against. Hello? Just like fading. Where do they go, with the grain? Fading. Against the grain. That's how they get it to do that. You go against it. And that's what happened with us. We wind up going against instead of a natural flow. You know, actually they find out like environmental conservationists, they'll get you, they catch you messing with things that, or you start impeding around rivers, streams, and creeks. They'll get you. You're impeding upon. They don't like that. They don't want you to touch it. Brush like, people like, I got this creek and I'm going to cut this. They really don't want you to touch it because you're impeding on something. Y'all got it? And Yahuwah has a way he likes for things to go. And it's only natural that things will grow around a stream or river. Why wouldn't it? It's Ma'im. That's the bloodline of the Orion, just like your blood. How you think you grow? It's the blood. So it plays a part of things that how you operate and how you exist. So they look at you, don't touch that. You don't impede on it. I don't want you, people say, I just want to put a gate. Don't put nothing there. I want you to impede on it. Let it do what it does. It's a part of nature. What Yahuwah has a thing that he does, and what we do, it goes along, like our behavior, it goes along with nature. To prove it to you, what is nature doing now? Let me say, what is man doing? Doing what? See, when we go against Alahym, it's already against nature. When he told them they were going against nature, it wasn't them physically going out doing it. It's me, because I set the protocol for nature. You know, I told nature well, you'll never see a tree get another tree and grab by the roots and wrap it around here something to tear your behind up. He said, no, the seed in itself. Everything got a root. You don't see two trees humping. Everything he set up, he said everything. He said everything. He gave it a protocol. You'll never see a blade of grass go jump on another blade. You look at your grass jet, or one grass jet jumping up and down another grass. Don't do it. He set things up there, and you ain't gonna see no grass humping no tree. You ain't gonna see no frog humping no cat. Everything got orders. Everything understand how it operates. And he said that way. This all plays a part on how existence continue. This is how things continue. The noon. This is how it continue. Because everything has its order. It has its place. The problem we got now, Ish, unashamed, man and mankind is out of place. He out of order. And nobody's really sat down to talk to him about it. He thought education would fix it. He put education in the prison system. How are we still getting people incarcerated? Mass numbers. Years ago, they came up with, they figured out that the reason why you had so many people in jail is because they lack education. So we got education, we put education inside the prison system, jail system, and we got more numbers now than we did before. So is education a problem? No, man got to be educated about himself. Man has to understand what part he plays. I'm telling you, the reason why we don't help people, we don't know what part we play. I mean, this is like a recent discovery for me, really thinking about it. We all more or less kind of pivot off of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got that pivot foot. That pivot foot allow you to do this. You can't do, you know what I'm saying? It's thing we all pivot off of each other. And we don't, you don't see that. You know, I don't speak, you don't speak, we keep going. How do energy forces pass each other and they have no connection? How do energy forces pass each other and have no connection? Because they don't know what they are. You think about this. If I do what I'm supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do, she do what she's supposed to do, everybody do what they're supposed to do, don't you know all this stuff will stop? Because the energy levels settle out. We understand how the rocks work. When he gave Adam his his commandments, what he was supposed to do, it entailed how this thing will operate and how to work. This is how to work. This is how existence will work. I put everything on. All you have to do is make sure everything maintains order, including you. And once you get out, where's the gun at now? Once you left, it left too. See, you destroy everything. Man destroy everything. Man, listen, when we get our course, we destroy, the animals are destroyed. People, everything destroyed. Everything destroyed. That's how much, think about it. Why would you play that much part to everything in the world? That everything destroyed, icebergs are melting. They were showing in Europe, listen, the water is increasing. It's getting higher. And they're looking at, in a couple years, it's going to put them underwater. Can you imagine you living somewhere in another 10, 15 years, that whole thing will be underwater? In Ghana, did y'all know, the ocean is washing away the land. It's coming to see them. It's washing away. They got people how it's just taking them away. Ain't no hurricane, ain't no storm, ain't no floods going. Listen, it's just coming in. Everything he said wouldn't do, he letting it do it. He told you, he said, though the Ma'im toss, he said it can't go over the sand. Guess what it's doing? And you know what he's trying to do? You know they're saying he a liar. I'm not a liar. I'm trying to show you how off-centered you are. Remember, he told us, listen, he said if we can cause it that the yum don't be in the day and let the yum come in the night and the night come in the day, he said, then I break my berith with Daoud. He said, if you can do it. What does Daoud covenant? If I give you something, I say, listen, I promise I'm going to do that for you. And I'm going to entail this off of the existence of things that's been here before you. I'm going to put this on the whole Shamaim. If I don't do what I say, all of this is going to scroll away. And it's going to be content on you just do what you said. Do what I asked you to do. I'm going to hold everything else to that berith, to that promise. That if anything happens, if I don't do what I said, I'm getting rid of all of this. Everything going to be gone. I'm going to take this whole land. I'm going to roll it up like a scroll. Y'all ever unroll one of them, like some dirt, and that thing, and you let it go, what it do? He said, that's what I'm going to do to the rise. He said, I'm going to roll it up like a scroll. I'm going to take this thing. You know, once you let it go, it already start roll. You just got to catch and just let it, like, this is an easy roll. He said, that's how much I'll keep my sin with you. So you realize his word is entangled into all this. He said, I hold myself to it so you'll see. When these things are working against you, it's because you're not keeping what I told you. Instead of you just, oh, Lord, like Marvin Gaye, what's going on? You know what's going on. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. And you know how many people are so stupid that they feel like that they're just one person that don't matter. How many people was Adam? One person can cause this much effect. So what if you have a whole bunch of Adams that's not doing, that's not complying? What do we have? A whole bunch of Ka'urs. We had one Ka'ur in deception got you hurting once a month. She got you bleeding once a month. And so when you have a kid, you would have been laughing. You'd have been laughing, but one Ka'ur, he ain't moved that yet. See, that just become a natural prone thing now. That when you have it, you're going to pain. It's going to be, he said you're going to have your conception in sorrow. He says, how you going to do? It's going to be in sorrow. He put away a man. You wouldn't have to sweat like this. Man don't have to bring an extra shirt. He'll work and still be cool. He said, all this is best on the point how you've done things. I make it hard for you. And this is to drive you to get you to doing right. And people just say, oh, that's just life. No, it's not life. It wasn't actually designed to go that way. I actually designed it for you that things will work for you if you just complied. A lot of times you keep trying to justify why you do things and why things go a certain way versus you looking at, was that their original intent? Adam wasn't sweating no gun. He still had to keep the ground. He still had to keep and work. And the man wouldn't bust a sweat. Hello? Now you got to work and you got to go down and you got to suffer, you got to sweat. He said, till you go back to the dust. I'm going to put you back where I got you from. I'm going to put you back where I got you from. But in that same instant, it gave me a chance that we realized to regenerate, I could bring you up from there. I could recover you better from there. Hello? Think about Yahushua. He could have recovered him from here, but he recovered him from the ground, from the Adumah. He says, that's why I did everything else. I recovered everything from here. So I can recover you from there. Although you look at it being a punishment putting you back, I can recover. Just like a seed. You take a seed, you put it in the ground. It can recover from there. Hello? Do y'all understand how important it is to understand that although you don't understand everything about Kai life, you don't have the knowledge of everything that happens in life, or how things more or less work. But yet, you have an Alahym that gives you some understanding about some things that you see. You know, it's really a lot more simplistic, and it's to your benefit to know that you and nature are players. Keep cutting all these trees and see how you breathe. More people got asthma than ever. More people got, look at people, but look how much we taking down trees by droves. You'll ride by somewhere and you don't even pay attention. They clear that thing out, you saying, I didn't even know all that was back there. You like, they strip it down. There's a strip, like there's a whole big giant subdivision. They keep ripping, and we getting sicker. Then they building homes on landfills. A lot of these homes you see in these malls, South Decatur Mall built on landfill. Now I think the one in Decatur, North Decatur Mall, those are all landfills. They built on top of them. And you know, none of them don't have no running water. They have restaurants inside. And the restaurant, why you say that? Well, pipes are gonna bust. They metal. They old built. They built those things in the 60s, 70s. Those metal pipes burst and get holes. So a lot of bacteria stuff get inside the pipe. You go in there, you drop down the water fountain, get your little water. Ain't got no bottled water. I got free water right here. They know it. Right on top of landfill, on a landfill. Hello? That's how, but you know what? That's why he started uncovering these people. What you think he's doing with your life? You built on top of a landfill too. You got so much junk in you. You full of junk and trash. And he had to expel us too, expose us too, so we can get better. Okay. I guess y'all don't want to hear that message. So we'll move on and try to see what does say Mr. Yahuwah. How about that? All right, we'll get Romans. We try to get something, read a little plain on some of it. These Jewish people, they don't do a whole lot better sometimes. They'll throw something in here and try to get you off too. They're like easing little words in there on you. You know, people, they want to, everybody tries to play to be comfortable. I think from, again, well, I won't say think, I know. It's a benefit for us to be able to get back and to learn the, you know, have the knowledge of Alahym, especially based upon a system that he designed, that you understand it, and then you start to operate in that system. That's how it becomes a way of life. The reason why, for the average of us, this ain't a way of life, because you know you don't understand how things around you work to a purpose and how you use those things, and you correlate them in things that you do. See, that's why they were effective. The people that was effective, because things they did correlated to what they were doing. Hello? Just like Yahushua. I mean, this man came along and he told Cuff that his name was Cuff, and upon that sewer, he was going to do what? Build his congregation. And by trade, what was his Abba? Carpenter. Which one? Who? Yeah, that's right. Both of them were. So you understand, he knew how to build what? Two ways. Ruachni and natural. Think about it. He told him, if you destroy this, he said, if you destroy this mashkan, he said, I'll build it back in 3 Yamim. But who would be better proficient to do that? He said, when you really look at it, I mean, my Abba built all of this. I watched him do it. And then my Abba, this other flesh you gave me, his trade was, he was a carpenter. So he knew how to build and put back. See what happened a lot of us, like knowing how to rebuild or knowing how to build from scratch. That's what hurt us a lot of times. We could do better from scratch, but unfortunately, the average of all of us, we had to be rebuilders. That's why we mess up. A lot of people can't look at something that's damaged, defective, and we don't know how to go in and correct or change something and take something out. We say, well, that's how it is. I'm just going to leave it how it is. And you'll do that with your life. You have to know how to go in and change things and how to rearrange things. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised. Like in your house, it can be something you add or something you do that can give a little life to it. You'll have people that put plants in their home. They'll put pictures. They'll do certain things, drapes or different things. You say, wow, it just feels lived in. Some homes just feel just commercial. You know what I'm saying? Just a commercial. You just put stuff here. It don't have like the living force that it ought to have. For people that like, I'm living. You know what I'm saying? And where I habitate at gives life as well. Y'all got it? That don't make sense to y'all? Okay. You wonder why you're dying. You wonder why you're behind. It's how you see things. All right, let's see. 15:4, Romans. Listen.
For everything katab in the past, nikatab telemeters.
That's right. And according to other writing, it said, and the separators. It was for separation.
So that through the encouragement of the Tanakh, we might patiently hold on to our tikva.
So, and then the 5th verse, what did it tell us?
And may Alahym, the source of encouragement and patience, give you the same attitude among yourselves as the Mashiach Yahushua had.
So that's something. So it's important to know where the encouragement come from. That's something we people need that. People need encouragement. Without a doubt, we need it. But then you have to know how to do things yourself. Like he's telling us, and may Alahym, the source. Can we see what the definition of source is? We can cut that down a little bit and kick some of this out of him. There's just a little of that heat. Get that little breakage. Humpback, you hot? Probably that real thick sweatshirt. And they call a sweatshirt. What that mean? Where trash go? You know what I'm saying? That man had on a sweater. He said, I'm getting very wet. Then the sweater is working. All right, source. A place, person, or thing. They call that a noun, young people. A place, person, or thing from which something comes or can be obtained. So if I want, now it told you, may Alahym, who is the source, he is the, no, you fine, you go back then, since you were there. See, I want us to understand, and may Alahym, the source of encouragement and endurance, give you the same attitude among yourselves as the Mashiach Yahushua had. So now he's giving you something to compare. Y'all got it? That was his source. People want to know, people say, man, you heard people, I don't know how Jesus did it. I mean, you got to be the Son of God, or however people might think to say, or they'll put him in this position of unattainability for us. And I don't know why, and I had it, and they gave it to me, and they give it to everybody, that it's unobtainable to be to a likeness. But yet, why would the writer ask you, and may Alahym, the source of encouragement, Nakum, and patience, endurance, give the Mashiach? Who's they going? Who may he give it to who? To you, the what kind? The same. What is same? Can we see what the definition of same is? Let me tell you what. People, you are failing because the way you register things. It makes no sense to say give you the same when it's unattainable. That makes no sense. How you telling me I can have the same encouragement, building up, the same endurance? I've been with you. I couldn't have done that. Why would he say patient is going through without giving way? Did he go through without giving way? So how did he say, may he give it to me? That he's telling me where it came from. Then he said, you can have it, obtainable. So why do I think and register that he sat somewhere or lived somewhere that is just impossible? You can want it, but you can never achieve it. That makes no sense. Your light on your phone. How long it been on, Don't worry about it. Put your name on that board. Put that check up there. Done thing, I'm going to put my eye. I kept looking, I said, I was like my glasses, man. The sun just kept beaming in my eye. I said, no, this is something's going. I know he's been turned to the Incredible Hulk. You remember how I used to light up like that? I was on guitar. Yeah, went to the restaurant. Man, hey, well, he don't run nothing. But I'm going to have to put your name on that board. We're going to have to put it. I'm going to tell you, you don't know how much that thing hurt me. It's already done. Put a check out of Uncle Ted. Put a check out of Uncle Ted. They ain't no, hey, Teddy. Yeah, they're right there. Put that check over there. Yeah, that's a thing. Put one back for you out of doing uncle like that. Embarrass him in front of all his niece and nephew like that. Yeah. That's how he always cause problems. We working on him. So, but here we are, and I think it's important for us to look at things like that, because a lot of times we just hadn't. And I mean, I've been there before. I'm sure other people have. To really feel like, although you're hearing it, and you might get your days where you're like, I'm getting this. But then you get that crash feel of, be practical, nigga. You ain't him. So, when it's talking about you and him, you can never be him. It's not about being him. There's a likeness. There's a resemblance. Like when he made man. He never said make man me. He said make him like me. And by doing that, so he'll know, give him some of the abilities that I have. Oh, same. Give you the same. What it is? Yeah. Yeah, you like Yahuwah, but it's different. Then you can't be like him. It's not the same. See, these are how many young people, I need y'all to look at that. If something is the same, that means it's identical. You know how people get up, because sometimes if they'll give you some, they'll give you some food, they'll say, you say, you might say, Antoine, or you might say, man, he got my, I said, really it's the same. The really part is really not. I'm just trying to convince you so I can get you to shut up. So now when we saying same, when it relates to him, it's naturally that we don't see it the same way. How many times y'all been getting somebody to get you to shut up? They say, really, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And because they've used it in that quotation or in that way, it makes you now not understand that what he's trying to get you to have is identical. Y'all got it. It's to be exact, to be alike. Okay? Oh, let's see. So we saw same, identical, not different. Okay. Let's see 1 and 3. I mean, 3 and 1, Olive, your Ukana right quick. Let's deal with this same. Oh, it looks ugly. All right, listen.
See what Ahab, the Abba, has lavished on us in letting us be Yakra, Alahym, Benin.
And you think about using lavish is a little different than pastored. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, they talk just based on how we say, you know, that's a lavish lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of overly showing. You know what I'm saying? Extravagant. And you really think about it, it really is when you look at what he did to us, what he gave us. See, they're looking at value. It's lavish. You know what I'm saying? It's a lavish. Can we look at what lavish is? It's ED, so it's done. Lavish, sumptuously rich, elaborate, or luxurious. Luxurious. Okay. So all these things right here are things that we look at when we look at what he's done to us. It's really an abundance. Y'all got what I'm saying? And it's an overly in a sense of like it's kind of like a person being overwhelmed. You're more or less overwhelmed with it. When you look at them writing it, using that terminology, they're looking at almost it's overwhelming. We consider the heart that he's given us, and it's because people are so fake when they say I love you to where it really doesn't mean a lot. It really doesn't mean a lot. You'll get a lot of it for Valentine's Day. Then Valentine's the 15th, you back the dirty nigga, whole slut, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's so fake. You get all the love cards and you don't get them no other day. But what he gave us has been a consistency. That's why it's important to understand his definition and then look at the attributes of it. You know how many guys cheat on their wife, but they'll break down crying, tell them they love them? Yahuwah tell you, I never did it. Some people love you because they're caught and they need to get out of it. That's not love. Y'all got what I'm saying? So if you're trying to use what we do a lot of times to compare against what he did, it's going to be proper. For them, they looked at it's lavish. It's overly. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you couldn't compare anything to it that we do. Other than you see somebody, you said that's a lot. I would have done all that. You got it. That's what he did. He know none of us would have did all that, but he did it. And from a writer's point of view perspective, they looked at it being lavish. You got what I'm saying? And you need to consider that. What type of person would give overly? You know what I'm saying? Would give so much? Y'all got it? Listen.
Or that is what we are. The reason the Alahym does not know
Hold on
us.
for a minute. Hold on. Lavished on us and letting us be called Alahym's benin.
Yes, sir.
For that is what we are. So it's one thing if I call one of y'all a B, are you a B, female? Okay. So when he called us the benin Alahym, he said, well, he only calls you that because that's what you are. Which means what? Hand, Jerry, I see the face. Jerry got an answer. You got a face like an answer. Well, you got a face like you were thinking. What do you compare that with? Nothing? I'm going to get a check for that face. Come on, we're not doing that. When you come here next time, you'll fix that face. Come on, fix your face next time. You know what I would never do if I was you? I'd never come with no face like I got no answer. I'd be looking like this. A person looking like this, is that a face or somebody got an answer? But you would look, you said. I said, he got an answer face. Why would you have an answer face? Who does that? Get a check. You don't even have an answer, do you? No, sir. Get 2 checks. Because you should know why. When you know that, why would I have an answer face? That man said, he said. I'm like, answer face. That man said, no, preacher, I ain't got no answer face. I said, what would you think? He said, my was in the gutter. All right, what you got, Austin? Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking about that one, but I mean, that could be something. Because think about that, though. Now, that could be a good answer based off of what he said for those that didn't know. No, I mean, when I say a good analogy, because that would fit us in a sense, because if you look at, hold on, get some. He said, put your check on that board. Because I was finna explain it. What is wrong with you people? And you had a face like you were waiting on the check. So, but no, what he was saying was that how Pharaoh, his Bath daughter, she took Pharaoh. Pharaoh was not her son. Musha, I'm sorry. She saw Pharaoh's daughter, Beth. She saw Musha in the Nahar, in the stream, in the river, and she took him, which means she had what? Exactly. She had compassion on him. This was a child that the mother had put him in the Nahar, in the river stream, to keep him from being murdered under the rule of her father. And when she saw him, she could have easily took him and just let him drown. How long is a 3-month-old, how long a newborn baby gonna last in a basket in a river? In the Nile? Not long, but she had compassion on him, and she took him out, and she delivered him from the Torah. Yeah. Now, mind you, the Torah was still in effect, because that was baby being killed. So, okay, so you understand. Okay. You need to know these things. So we start off 15:4. Whatever was written aforetime was written. That's right. It was written so you'll know it. That's the only reason it was written. It's not a story actually about Musha in the sense that you're thinking. It's a story about a person who was born under a curse. Okay, so what baby conceives itself? So his parents knew that was a law, didn't they? They had known it was a law, because the law was in place before it didn't come out the day when she in conception. So he was born in what? We could say he was born in Qatar, because the Torah was a man-child born, he had to be killed. So when his parents conceived him, he can say what we've heard said in tongue. I was conceived in sin. Because of Torah. So now here's a woman who come down, who had authority under her father to be able to take him and make her his son so he could escape the detriment of the law. Now, did she come along and erase the law so that all babies can live? No. If she took one and made it her son, her benin, lavished him with it, then he escaped the punishment of the Torah. Hello? See, so now you understand for us repenting. Now, what state was Musha in? Being a newborn baby. Knowledge of what? What was he in? And we'll go with ignorance. Ignorance. So think of how many times you operate. He wouldn't have understood anyway if you'd have told him. You'd have got and said, listen, I saved your life, boy. Randomly, we were smiling, boy, you was good as dead. You understand me? I wouldn't understand. I need knowledge to have that. So this is something that people don't consider since we're talking about it. Musha, we was told that Musha chose rather suffer affliction with the arm of Alahym than to suffer the pleasure of Kataim for what? This is what nobody thought about. What do you think she taught Musha? What now? All the ways of Mizraim? We know that. We agree. But she would have had to also teach him something about his rear and where he came from. You don't choose a people and just go to a people for no reason. Think about what they told her. Think about it. I'm here, I'm ruling. I'm the second highest ruler in the land. And I look at him, let me borrow just a second. You down like you chopping and you getting beat. Come on, you whipping, I'm just saying, I'm ruling. I'm everything. I'm number 2. Huh? I'm the one you go to the bathroom when you sit down. I'm number 2. Hold on for a minute. Look out the window. Come on. Hold on for a minute. I'm number 2 high ruler in the earth. But you know what? I want to be there. No, that's good. No, it makes no sense. But this is what they'll try to get you to convince of. Women, she'd had to teach her where it come from. She had to teach her where it come from, where it been delivered from. Yes, sir. His mom only nursed him for 3 months. There's no way he could have known his original mom. Not without the knowledge of her telling it to him and teaching him. But Ray, go on with him, Ray, because while you thinking, it's one for you. Don't do this. This is illegal. Now, let's hear, was Ray in ignorance or did he willfully get out? That's all I need to know. If it was innocence, then we can look. That's right, guilty. So yeah, so he was nursed by his mother for 3 months, but 3 months when it gave him knowledge of her. Y'all got it? The only reason, see, your writers don't tell you, but let's deal with practicality. There's no way for me to look. What? Just a rich white person. He owns this. He looks at the slaves and says, "I want to be a slave." Why? Who would do that? The only way it would make sense is that he would have not. If I'm taught, you ain't gonna believe that, taught in all the ways of, which means Mizraim got history. History is going to teach how these people came here. Because we're not thinkers. See, we read, and the first thing we do is go to Fartville. That makes no sense. If he learned it all the way to Mizraim were constantly, they were scriptors. They constantly wrote. They were hieroglyphically right. They wrote events. That was an event. You can go back to their writings now. Musha is in their writings. On their writing, there's a certain way they signify things they put up. I remember going back and looking, and it shows Musha, and the reason why they knew it was him, because there was some symbol that was not there for a person if they had been actually of Mizraim. So there are things in their history that lets them know there's another person they would have had this with. Who would that have been? Joseph. So when you wrote Joseph and you wrote history of it, the problem's going to be, I'm missing this baby part. I'm missing the rearing. He kind of would be something like, into a sense to them, almost like if their writers weren't complete on some of it, almost like Mount Sadiq. Because I'm missing his beginning of days. Y'all got what I'm saying? So all these things come so we could understand. So now, when we read this, behold, what manner of Ahab the Abba he's lavished us with. Now you think about this. You went from death, from the rule of death. Death was imputed on this kid. Y'all got it? Without any measure, death was on him. What did she do? She lavished him. You gone from death to second ruler. That's how we understand what manner of Ahab he's lavished on us. How you go from in sticks, floating down the river with crocodiles, get ate up, killed at any time, or drown, anything, topple over, to second ruler? I mean, what manner of Ahab is this? So he's given us things that we can do comparison with. Y'all got it? Does that make sense to y'all?
So
it was a good answer. We just show you how everything fit. Y'all got it? So now you understand now why he has made us the Benim Alahym, and you don't believe it. And that's what we are. When you at what come, you ain't her son, you bastard, you river baby. Nobody called him that. Everybody recognized him as being the son of the daughter of Pharaoh. Because you ain't gonna believe it. Because that's what he was. She read him. So that's why what a mother teaches the child. Okay? There are things that a mother does. Caress, she nurses, she holds the child, she feeds the child, she instructs the child, and that's what Yahuwah does to us. That's why so many things he did, the symbolism, because this is what you do when it's your child. Because you said, well, man, I appreciate you doing that and treat me like I was your child. He said, no, that's what you are. He said, I would never did it for somebody that's like my child. I did it for somebody, that's what you are. See, the way they give us the writings and knowledge of this is it separates you from it. See, when they had it, I told you before in Torah, in the writing, it makes you look at things. Thus said Yahuwah, your Alahym. They tell you, your father here to get you. You looking around talking about, who, one of y'all dad out here? I just told you who father. Why would you be looking around talking about somebody dad at him? I just told you, hey, your mama called for you. You looking around talking, hey, one of their mama called. If I just told your mother, this is possession, you know, this is talking to you. Why would you be looking around the room? But the way they gave it to us, you don't look around the room, but in your heart of hearts and in your mind, you said, you're not talking to me. Because you don't have a connect. You got a connection break. Always got a connection break. So being called the Ben Alahym comes with benefits. Just like Musa got him. He escaped there. Nobody kept walking around that time, with a sword right now. As soon as you mess up, I'm going to kill you. I wish I would have got you when you was a baby. It wasn't Lincoln on him. He delivered him from. See, this is the difference of people understand deliverance versus the way we see it. We got deliverance with, I can still fall. I can still wind up getting killed. When they were delivered, he told them when they got out of Mizraim, what was going to happen to them? They saw? And every time they kept walking around, they kept worrying about, oh, and the Egyptian finna pop back up and kill me. He said, no, when I deliver you, I tell you, Musa, we don't have right to tell her how he kept fearing one day he's going to get told on, he's going to get exposed, the basket, one day they're going to be sending someone like, ha, the basket. Man, it wasn't even a thought. He had been completely exonerated. And that's what happened when Yahushua gave up his ka'i for us. You've been exonerated. Hello? He lavished you with it. It's unrefutable. It's undisputable. But the only reason why it comes into question is because you falter. It's because you don't really completely believe it. You don't buy into it. You bought into it's for everybody else but me. He said a keyword, but me. Ain't no for but me. That's the part that get the but me. We're going to get rid of them but me. Stop saying but me. Because somebody fart in your face now, don't forget you be hollering but me. If somebody sit on you now, y'all got it? For all y'all say, but me, somebody go sit on them. And they holler said, you just told me to butt you. If it's Princess, you're done. Princess, give yourself a check. I already know you're at home. I know she's like, oh, rah! Yes, 2 checks. She know I was a dirty nigga before she told me. But, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to go back and correct a psychology that we have. You know what I'm saying? Because it basically works on us and it keeps us from actually getting to a status or a status that he wants us to get to, a state or a status. And it hurts us. Like he talked about in 1 Timothy 6 chapter, Aleph Banaba, he talked about if any consent not to wholesome. dabarim, wholesome. That goes, and they used to use that with serious. I don't say more. They said promoting or complete. See, anytime it's wholesome, whole, being that wholesome, complete. Listen, it's promoting something. Y'all got what I'm saying? Just like if a fight come up. You know what the difference is? When there's a big fight, man, them folks promote that thing, you done heard about it. It's showing everywhere. They got the money, they pushing it because we promoting it. We getting it out there. And certain things that the bar does, and he looked at when people don't agree to that and don't do what promotes something, just like promote. If you're in the 5th grade, you want to stand, you trying to get to the 4th? What you trying to do? You trying to get promote and not retain. You know what I'm saying? Or brought down. So that's what we're looking at, something that promotes something. And that's what the word does with clarity, and we understand it, using the right analogy so we can process it. So we got the idea. I'm more into it's an idea. It's the best idea. It's the right idea. I mean, it's the only idea. So don't get me with idea like there are others, but it's the only one. You got it? Y'all hear what I said? There are others. It's the only one. And the reason I said it's other, I wouldn't take them. It's the only one. Because I'm looking at what it promotes. You know what I'm saying? And it should. Let me tell you something. With religion, you'll watch other religion, Christianity, it makes you become conscious of how much, with everything, how everything more or less tie into. You know what I'm saying? Things connect together. And you build a house, you stick a brick over here, then put one down there by Panera Bread, then put one up there put you about 10 or 15 up there by I-20, then stick you about 100 back down here, going back down here by that QT, and keep stacking. Otherwise, you'll have a building just coming together. Exactly. There's going to be a bunch of piles of mess. Because it's got to be connectors. And what happened, that's basically what I just told y'all is how we've been taking the word. We take it, we put that down here at QT, some other stuff at 20, some stuff at Panera Bread, and we just building. That's all I can do. That's all I'm doing, brother. I'm trying to build. You know what I'm saying? But you're not building effectively. You got to say it's about being effective when you're doing something. You got what I'm saying? And we try to do something that gives longevity. Y'all got it? Okay. So, and the reason why we looked at that, see what Ahab the Abba has lavished on us in letting us be called Kara, Alahyms, Benin, children. For that is
what we are.
Period. The reason the Alahym does not know us, having knowledge of us, is that it has not known him. Dear Rayos, I don't know, Rayims, friends, I don't know how they might do friends. We are Alahyms, Benin now, and it has not yet been made clear what we will become. Where we at? We do know that when he appears, we will be like him, because we will see him as he really is. That's it. Which means same. 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 That's why we wait on the appearance, so we can see what we become. Y'all got it? And you don't believe it. Sometimes they have kids, they favor their parents. You don't believe what they say. You the splitting image of them. Before they grown, splitting image of them. Exact, same, identical, no difference. And these are the things that we're trying to learn and trying to encompass. And when you don't get it, you keep staying stagnated in your growth. You'll feel good to some things, but you're not getting complete in it because it's all fragmented. You know what? You got some at that 20, some at Panera Bread, then you got the other down at QT down here. And you building, you putting them together, but they're not coming together. Y'all got what I'm saying? The goal is to get it where it comes together. See, how they giving it to us, it's so many gaps. There's certain things that excites you, there's other things that's not important. Just like when he brought about Pharaoh's daughter. Now you see how much sense it makes. What she did, how she delivered him from Moot. And the Moot came because of the Torah. The Torah was not removed. The Torah was still in stay, but you saw somebody being delivered. Guess what, though, today? Did y'all know God got rid of the law when he sent Jesus? And that would make it much sense if Pharaoh's daughter got rid of it when she came on the scene. She did not. That was the rule. That was the law of her father. She had the ability to come and take him and deliver it by making her his own. So what is the purpose of making us his benin? See, I ain't even, guess what? Whole time, I don't know. I just been walking around just thinking it's just something he's saying. I'm only doing it because of Mushah. I told you, and that's why I told y'all, why I tell you, and you know why. You need a foundation. When you don't have a foundation, you're fragmented in your understanding. It ain't, things just don't, they're not clear. That's what light does. So I make manifest. Get what you call me? Light. He said, because you make it clear. Is that clear now? Understand that situation with her. Understand what he done. And the law was done away with when Yahushua came on the scene. All he did was deliver it by making us his own. You see how this works? So you see the importance because somebody call you the son of Alahym or becoming the son of Alahym. You see why it's imperative? Because Mu is after you. Because of the Torah, all of the people he put to be executioners of the Torah, they weren't going to look at him and say, oh, he's coochie, coochie, coo, because the book said he was a proper child. Talk about how I love. They weren't going. They look at that does not escape you from the Torah. You think about why would they tell you he would? What good that make? You thinking proper? He would fold his napkin or some type of way. They trying to take, although his look was I won't say charm, was eloquent looking. You know what I'm saying? He looked very attractive, handsome, or whatever, or cute you might call it. That wasn't gonna stop him from being killed. And you'll think your clothes, your makeup, your workout, everything you do is gonna let you escape it. Mushah wasn't escaping this. The only way to be delivered was to become the bin of. Huh? Okay. So now you have a reason now why you got to take on operation. You understand it better. Hello? So these are the things that we're trying to understand so we can, when you start to move more into the knowledge of, you find yourself doing less faltering and more considering. Because the way they taught it to you, we basically just been punchline, storyline reciters. We have. I mean, you count on people to lift you, to be there, to encourage you. And there are things you have to consider yourself because people got their own problems. So you can't get up every day thinking people going to get up and give you. People got their own stuff they're dealing with. Now, let's look at something. Let's see if that's, let me see. See if that's Yeukanon 5. Let me see 5 and let's see 5:17. I won't down further than that, but I like it. Let's see what it's saying. Okay. Now think about something I'm gonna do. That air, please. So I can breathe again. Who's son that Tony Braxton? Yeah. As long as people ain't got COVID. Otherwise I hold my breath. Listen, 5:17, listen.
But he answered them, Abi has been working until now, and I too am working. This answer made the Yahudim all the more intent on killing him. Not only was he breaking Shabbat, but also by saying that Alahym was his own Abba. He was claiming.
His own Abba. They claimed it to himself. In the writing, now this might not actually, they might have looked at, they felt like, let me say that, we dealing with translator people coming in. I don't know if they might have actually said own. They could have looked at it that way, that he personalized it to, it was just his and nobody else's. Because saying that it was his own is a different, that's almost saying he don't belong to nobody else. Just to me only. You know what I'm saying? Or this could be the hang up. I look at this when you look at people writing, you gotta remember people have intent in writings. When the translator write, when they take words, even there are other words of other languages they can use, or you can translate their language. Some people look and they say, to me, I would say, they took it that he was saying that he didn't belong to anybody else but him. Y'all got it? versus, because I think in James right, other right, it's just saying that Alahym was his father. It didn't say it as his own father. You see what I'm saying? That makes a little difference, and it's more distinctive, as though he doesn't belong to anyone else but me. Y'all got it? And I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't take it, because it would make no sense to teach the Talmudim, his taught one, that when they palau say, "Our." See what I'm saying? So it's certain things you got to think about. It don't make sense to teach somebody that palau if you saying or you were promoting that he only belonged to you. But when people don't want to do something, or people they feel like they're being condemned, then you'll add something extra to try to make it like I get people on board by not telling the whole truth. I just put something in here a little extra so I get people motivated. If people do that, they won't tell you the whole story. They'll tell you enough of it to get you on with them, and that's not the whole story. You'll tell somebody, like I tell people I learned on the job, don't talk with everybody about stuff. Don't answer. I said something, and first thing they'll go tell folks, you know, he said all us going to hell. I never had that conversation. You know how fruitful that be on the job? Tell everybody on the job going to hell. And I'm expecting to come to work tomorrow. When they hit human resources, I'm telling you they're going to get you. They hurt, but you know what I'm going to get you at? Teaching religion on the job. And the whole thing ain't about it's going to be the fact it hurt me too. So I'm going to pull side of the hand, but something you shouldn't have been doing. You were pushing religion on the job. We pay you to work. So you're saying, so you have to be real mindful, and that's what he learned. A lot of stuff you can't have a conversation with everybody about. When you're on a job with I'm telling you, man, I remember I talked to a white guy one time. I was so excited, I had joined, I was learning, and I had learned how to quote. I knew what stuff was. He was just asking me a question. Man, he had a lot of quotes. We were just riding that whole day. I worked for a cabinet company, putting in cabinets, installing them. I worked in Chateau Elan. Y'all been to Chateau Elan? I worked there early in the 90s. I worked there years ago. A nigga wasn't even supposed to be on the property. So I went up there. I worked at Chateau. I used to install them cabinets in there. And we was in that stall. He just asked me quick. We talking and just talking. Good talk. Ooh, just beautiful. Just brothers is inspiring one another with the word. He want to know. Soon we got back there while he walked straight there and told them folks. He said, man, y'all know Christmas wrong. Man, we're going to hell to him with Christmas. But listen, he said, tell them where it's at in the listen. I worked there for about 3 days. It's going to be hard to work there, and Christmas coming up, and the whole job going to hell. It's going to be real hard. I'm telling you now, you don't have to conversation with people. That's what it is. What's your name? I mean, you believe what you want to believe. You got to learn. You don't get people. I'm telling you, people look like they're interested. They're not. What you want to do? You look at it. You know what I'm saying? You know what you believe. That's whatever you believe, you believe. People might think, I don't be on the street preaching to these folks, man. I don't know where folks get that stuff from. I don't have that conversation. I know some of y'all want to go ahead and street preach these folks. When he told you to do it? Yeah. He didn't. Because he ever gave them folks, he told them to go there. He told, listen, let me tell you something. When he told y'all about Shaul, he said, Shaul is going to be a witness to bear my shem. And he was going to go before who? Mount a king. He sent that man to Rome because he was going to the Goyim, the other nation. He knew where this man was going, and he told you he was going to go to the Goyim, to the other nation. He said this man was a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name. He had a purpose for this man to go do what he's doing. You around here trying to preach the Gentile, that's not what he told. There's no insult to people, but you become ineffective. Because you got people on the street, they're running doing something, then they tell these folks they're going somewhere, and you're right, your conversation don't fit them. Because the people you talk to don't understand what you're saying. Yasharal understands certain things. So when you go to Yasharal, just like he told your cousin, he said, you're not going to a people hard speech. Those people, that's why he sent them. Say, I know what I'm doing. They think I don't. Every folks edge me up. Go and preach to that one, preacher. I'm preaching to your mama. What I'm going to preach to your mama is, go back in the wound again. I want her to cross that leg and lock him and do like that 2 times. Pop that neck. That's it. We'll be done with that one. Because, see, you got to remember, there's a certain type of people, I say person, people overall, you only a few people he said be that even find it. Because people got particulars. And everybody not into a doctrine that goes more in depth on certain things and deal with a person and deal with them on understand really searching self. People don't do that. People go to log cabins to search themselves. You know what I'm saying? In the drawers. They're not searching nowhere really, not, you know, internally. And people don't really want to deal with that. People don't know how to deal. I mean, for me, that's a hard thing. Well, really just try to deal with yourself. Okay, I'm lost now. How you deal with yourself? See what I'm saying? They don't give you answers. They say things that seem like, oh, everybody. They don't know either. There are internal things about yourself you need to deal with, you need to know. You be good with that. Things about you you'll never change. There are things you have to learn how to appreciate yourself as a whole. Don't just pick little instances of things, because certain little things about you, your mind will kind of tag on to it, that one thing will keep you from ever being. You know, you need defects, as well as you got other things, you know, that can be honored about you, things you can appreciate. And as an overall, there's an appreciation for it and an understanding. He makes us a particular kind of way for a reason. Y'all got it? But you want to get understanding. All right? You are an energy source. You promote something. You also ingest. You're an energy source. You need energy. A battery gives energy, doesn't it? And they got to be plugged up, charged up, hooked to an alternator. Their energy source. Guess what? They got to be refueled. I don't know what people think. And we've been walking around here, battery unplugged. Wondering why we dying out, why we killing out. And you have been alternating battery do this. As long as I stay 14.5, I'm going to keep you at your 650 cranking, and self cold, 650. Running, 750, 800. As long as I stay 1450. And we're going to do some things to work together. Y'all got it. And that's how you're going to learn how we do. We all feed and fuel off one another. Yep. White, black, Chinese, everybody. It's unfortunate that nobody really taught us about that. Because when people come together, you get rid of these retarded systems that separate us. But we don't understand it. These younger people, I'm counting y'all to be smarter than us. See, y'all can't afford to wait till y'all get 55, 54 to come into knowledge of. We'll be all dead by then. I mean, at the way the world going now, we won't make it. Another 50 years, impossible. Okay, so we got to do something. It's drastic. So we got to do drastic measures. We got to do drastic things now. Y'all got it? Okay, what was that? Okay, what we left off at? Okay, he was claiming. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Come on, where y'all looking at? Broke the Shabbat. No, we were down here at this. 18 and 18. I'm gonna run their own father. He was claiming
equality with Alahym.
See that? Equality. Can we look what equality is? We know equal. The same. Father come up with the same equality. We should aid it. The state of being, especially in rights and opportunity. That's why it makes sense. You know, they picked that up when the man said, my father been working up to now and I've been working. You see, just the fact that they used that word equality, you know what I'm saying? They put a little suffix on it, but we know equal was going to be the root to it. And that's all basically they picked that up. So when they looked at, now are we the benin of Alahym, and it doth not yet appear what we should be, but we know when he shall appear, we should be
like him.
Or we'll see him as he is. So we knew that when Yahushua went up, he looked at having an equivalent. He looked at the son looks to come into possession of being the father. Well, the father had, what did the father have to be a father? A being, and so does Yahushua. That's how you look at it. I can be equal. He's a father, right? Abraham was the father. Did he have a father? Yes, sir. He became a father, yes, which make him equal, equivalent. Hello? That's right. Then Abraham, father, have children benin? So did Abraham. So was he equivalent with his father? You find him operating in two different statuses. You look at him bearing us, that's feminine. Then you look at he begot us, which is a masculine. He has that quality. Mimicking who? Tell him, Lana, the tree. I mean, similar, you could do that. Tell them, you go ahead and tell them. Adam. Because Adam begot, but before he did, he bared. So you look at bearing on two things. You look at fruitful and you being able to tolerate and do something. You know what I'm saying? People bear. You know what I'm saying? I've been bearing with you for a long time. You get on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? You know, right? So you can look at bearing on the end, because just like he bared her. Not only just physically in, you know, in her existence or her creation, but tolerating the fact that she was in transgression. That's what Alahym told you, 1 Timothy told you. In 2:12, when he told you, I suffer not a woman to teach, nor the use of authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Keturah. And Adam was not deceived, but the Isha woman. And what else? So what you say? Big man, what you doing? You trying to start your own little thing around? Let me tell you why I walk this aisle. I can feel when folk got a ministry. You know what I'm saying? It don't take but a word to start a ministry. You start that stuff up, you just kick it. He just kept quoting. He said, my thundering power broken by thundering sound. Pick up the pieces and a pair no opportunity with. I said, he kept just going. I said, I got to start that ministry. Best way to do it. This is the start. I'm just saying, it starts somewhere. It's like you find a kid, but what it say? It starts somewhere. Don't ever think that you can. It started somewhere. He was just rolling on that down. He said, and the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Did you know that? That's what it said, Karen? What happened? You knew that? Yeah, put it in. It's some more in there. Get in front of that name. He was just quoting and going. He was like, and then it was deep though. He was just going, and like he was going. He was like, I ain't gotta look at preacher. I know this right. I said, I gotta start this ministry today. But that's what it was. But he told you the woman, not only was she in the sea, he said she was in transgression, which means so when she came to Adam, because when we read it in Bereshit, okay, in Bereshit, you look at in the beginning, in the start, all right, in the height of creation, you'll look at with her. When she saw it, she took it, and what did our writer say she did? She did what? Okay. That's all I want. She did eat. She ate. When she saw it was too for food, she took it and she did eat. That's when she gave it him. So you got to remember, after she ate it, where was she at? In transgression. So when Adam, to come to him to give it to him, I'm really just burying you right now. I already know you because he wanted to see. She didn't trick him. She didn't get, he like, oh, blank. I didn't realize that came out that tree. He seen her in transgression. And he took it to eat. Similar. When Mashiach was up on the tube. Y'all remember that? Yes, sir. He said, I thirst. And they took the vinegar and they took it, and this stuff had some of the rocks in it. They took it, put it to his mouth. And you ain't gonna believe we was in transgression when he did it. He was just bearing us. That's all I was doing, just tolerate. I knew you was in transgression, and I took it in the way. Can you imagine that? Nobody to see him and fool him. Y'all in transgression. I already knew you in transgression. And I let you give it to me. That was the only way we could look at what Adam did. You said, what? Really, you think about it, man, he effed us up. You know, guys, man, he messed up. What kind of stupid stuff that? Why would he do that? Ask yourself what kind of stupid stuff that was the Mashiach was doing for us. Because he did it for us when we was in transgression. Who does that? How many times you heard people blame Adam? Man, he wanna screwed up. Listen to that guy, man, met that woman. We wouldn't be messed up today. What about that second time? Had Yahushua not listened to us when we was in transgression? Because we blamed the woman. So who we blame on the second time? Because there was a man that ran and put it on his side and put it up there. So you understand, the only way we could understand what he had actually done to get up to see, because how we looked at Adam, I didn't look at it. He was just stupid or just straight dumb. Or, I don't know what it was. I don't know. But you should know. It was written, so when we saw Yahushua realize, so, you know, Adam, you know what Keturah no doubt could have sat and looked at and realized? You know I was wrong. You know I was wrong. But you got to remember him. I just buried you. That's what Yahushua did. I knew it was wrong, but I buried you. When they gave it to him, that's why he had to drink it. Because it wouldn't make sense. How we knew the Ben Alahym was not only from what he did that was correct, but we also knew him for the fault. The fault he took on for his Ashah. So we knew Yahushua being the son of Alahym. He didn't want you to just look at him in his kabul. I want you to see me take on failure for you. He said, because that's what a Isha do. He would carry her. Now I know some folks out here done heard what they want to hear. I ain't preached that. I ain't preached that now. I'm trying to get you, but we had to understand. So whatever written the fourth time, you go do something stupid. That's not helping us. That not be written. Y'all got it? But getting you to understand the benefit behind what he did for us. You see what I'm saying? Is what he was trying to get to see. Now somebody say, well, you know what? That's how I'm doing for my wife. My wife screwing up, effing up. I'm just bearing her. No, you just being stupid. You see what I'm saying? Because people want to take, but we had to learn it from Adam and Ka'ur. You got what I'm saying? Because you got to remember something. The difference between, just say me going doing right now for my wife, and I'm in Qatar. There is no way I could do what he did. Adam was in a perfect state when he did it. Okay. When did he take on transgression? So when she was in transgression, what state was he in? He was clean. See, you trying to get an unclean thing to clean another unclean thing, and that can't happen. See, the first thing, remember, when he knew her state, it was because of the state he was in. I'm in a clean state. I would have to transgress to be with you. You see what I'm saying? These folks don't realize they're in transgression already, and you're still transgressing, so there's not an equivalent to what you're trying to do. That's why they pay me. Give me money. Because people think they're smart. They try to find something you won't do it. So he was burying her. He was in a clean state. So then we understand how it told us how Yahushua took on our transgression. What was her transgression again? What was it? What was her transgression? What was it? I need that answer. I need that answer. Don't worry about it. Come on, big man. Get up there and break a transgression and put it. No, well, her transgression law was eating of the pari, right? Now, look at what he did. So what he did was he took wine and he sat down and started. I'm going to get that check, too, for check your head with me, grin. I'm making all this up as I'm going. And he said, yeah, preach it about my life. They don't know about the bin. There he going. He said, I said that he made wine. He said, that's it, Abba Malak, make that wine. No. But what he was doing, what he did, look, so you understand, he took on the same. He said he could have done, there's other things he could have done. He took on the exact same. So what you look at with Yahushua, he took on the same. So we understand it. He didn't do, because they want you to believe, well, Yahushua, he took on sin, but not sin. I don't know what these people thinking. He took on the exact same sin. And the reason we know that, because Adam took on the very sins of her. That's how we understand he took on our sin. Now, did he literally go and fornicate? No. Did he literally commit adultery? Did he literally go get drunk? Did he literally go lie? No. But you know what? Let it fall on me. And we learn that from Rebecca, who was the mother of Jacob. When Jacob said, because you got to remember something now, same is what? Definition of same. Exact, not different. You got to remember, one put not means to no degree. I'm with you, because some no's can be changed. Not means to no degree. Certain words are used for a reason. You ain't never been told no, then to turn to yes. That's fine. I forgive, it's the board. The board don't forgive. It ain't me. You know what I'm saying? My name up there. And I refuse to let a nigga get away. Now, but so what we have to consider with it, the not to no degree, Okay? So that means it bears all traits. Y'all got it. They say identical, not different. The fact they tell you not that instance, you say, so identical to be, listen, not different. It's no way different. It's the same. Y'all got it? So he had to be able to take it on. And how he was able to do that was when Jacob went in to, he adorned himself, who they call Jacob, and he dressed himself like his elder his elder brother, who the elder is the one that receives the barak, or receives the inheritance. He receives the inheritance. So what he had to do was to dress himself like him, which means he had to do what? Become identical, same. Not different. Y'all got it? He had to become not different. And we're going to show how that works since we're talking about it, okay? Not different. Now he said, if my Abba find out that I'm not him, that there's a difference, then that's going to be an all out on me, which a curse going to fall on me. Now his aim said, let it fall on me. That's how Yahushua got it. He told her. He said, He said, you know the reproaches of them that reproached thee fell on me? So if his daddy found out, you just sat here and lied to me, that fall right on her. She set herself up to where this could only be a benefit to you. If he turns angry later after he gave it to you, decide, I got to give it to you, but I got to give you something else. She said, let it fall on me. That's how beneficial he became to us. Y'all got it? So exact is important for us. Identical is important to us, not different. So we have differences among us. It shouldn't be. So what did he do to kind of clarify so we know? 1 Corinthians 1:9, 1:10, 1 Corinthians. That tight. He said, I got away with that dinner preaching. You could have made some of them napkins from that called the wet one. He all right. Who are that? I love kids. They make me nervous. 1 Corinthians. Okay. Let's see something. How about this? Listen. 1 and 10, 1 Corinthians. Listen.
Nevertheless, Akim, Akara on you in the Shem of our Adon, Yahushua HaMashiach, to agree, all of you, in what you say, and not to let yourselves remain split into factions, but be restored to having a common mind and a common purpose.
So this is what he did. Everything that the Abba did, he specified to the spokesperson to say the exact same thing. There'd be no difference. So they would know that the words you speak are my words. So they put us to come together in speech. Now, the fact that he said, Akim, you do this, we had a situation where Akim had to do that. Anybody familiar with one? What you think about it? What you think? I don't know. What you thinking? Who? Not that one. I'm talking about Akim. And it would have been Akim too. Who I would have used in that one, I would have looked at the fact that he started with Akim, so he was talking personally to, a people that he looked at being the congregants, people believing the same, having the same ideals, would be with when the 12 Akim, when they came together about killing Yosef. Because that was a plot to kill him. Yaakov came up, Yehuda told him that we couldn't kill him. That was our op. And there was no division among them. They all agreed to it and just left him in the hole. They weren't split in that. They didn't keep arguing. I ain't good with that. I've been with you. I want to butt that nigga head so bad I could taste his blood. Nobody then. They had, it was on a negative end, but yet they came together on agreement of not killing him. When they first seen him coming, the thought came to kill him because they didn't want him to rule over him. But Yehuda came and told them later, said, we can't kill our op. We can't do that. And they all consent, they all agreed to it. See, that's how the conversation, it keeps them together. See, what hurts, what happens with us a lot of times, we don't get what can make us identical. Is the fact that we're going to tell a lie, we're going to see somebody, we're going to go over the store and make sure they question us, so we make sure we're saying the same. They say, well, it must be true. Y'all saying the same thing. The stories are alike. You got what I'm saying? So they were putting us, to get us to become the Ahim that we need to be, or become the Benin. Y'all got it? The children, which means you'll connect with other. We all need to know the same. We need the same information in order to have the same speech. In order they consented to do it is because we have the same knowledge. He's right. We shouldn't kill our own op. Who they gonna correlate this off of? Hands. Who you saying? You know what go there. Go and get that answer though. Who? So what we gonna need with that too? What did Cain do to a ball? He killed his brother. What can they got to do? That's all we're doing. That's all. We don't keep it equal. We don't stay fair. Right? Go on and kill your name with that check. There you go. Yeah. So now these are the things we start to look at. So this is how, because it's based off of that. Nobody just jump. You ain't jumping up brand new, just throwing something here and we just going along with it. It makes sense based off of our custom, based off of things we do in our ritual. We don't kill our Ahim. See, all this been premised. Also, now you got to think about a ball. A ball had to be slaughtered. It had to be. When you look at moot is not die as long. It's murdered. That's when you're murdered or you kill something. So moot also can be murder or kill or put to death. All these things happen. So think about it. The only reason that happened because that set a premise on what we couldn't do. See, when Yasharal got larger and they enlarged themselves and they were going to fight against Rehoboam, and Rehoboam was going to fight against Yasharal because they departed from him. And Yahuwah told everybody to turn and go back to their house. He said, y'all shouldn't fight one another. He said, this is from me. Y'all trying to know, listen, Rehoboam had in his log that they were going to fight Yasharal, and everybody that wasn't going to come and consent, they were killing them. They were taking them down. He told them no. He said, you're not doing that. Y'all go back. This is from me. They understood that's a Torah for, that's a law for. We couldn't do that. Now today we'll do it because you know what? We're not saying the same thing. We're not identical in understanding. We got so many different people calling themselves teachers, and everybody giving out information. And they saying things that, you know, more or less people want to hear. It doesn't put them progressing towards salvation. It's just more or less, this what I be want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Speak to me on this end. I don't want correction. I want to hear other things like they told in the bar. Speak on a smooth thing, not a deceit. Get you out of the way. Turn out the path. That makes sense. Because remember, how was the path? Straight. So you turn, certainly you're going to fall. You're going to be off. It'd be people get off and think they're still on. You couldn't because it's straight. See, all these things he gave them, they could compare to understand. All these things were ritual to keep them in a premise. The way narrow. The gate to get in is narrow, and the way straight. You know what I'm saying? So everything you got is uprightness. Guess what they had to write? Where they had to write the Torah? Doorpost leaning. I read straight up. I read right. I go straight. Everything we do, you see what I'm saying? All these premises were putting them to an end. Or when you really look at it, it did. But it was a necessity for Yahushua to come to give the validation. Because you know when you grow up doing so, you don't think about he's giving you these things because they're setting you on a premise of how you should do things. Y'all got what I'm saying? So it gave him the premise. Look at Yahushua. When he was hanging there, he was like on the doorpost. He was straight. He was upright. Right when he told how he made Anashim, he said, I made him upright. So all of it just made sense, but we need him to come in to validate our understanding on it. So we really got Ahab, fruitful. Y'all got what I'm saying? You know, you got fruitful, you got an abundance of. That's what he did to us in knowledge. So you would use the fruitful because people understand a fruitful tree had what, like 2 or 3? You're like, wow, that's a lot of it. That's what we understood about Alahym. His knowledge was fruitful. It was Ahab. Y'all got what I'm saying? That's what he gave him, fruitful. That's how we know that he, see, Ahab sat over who? Hands. This man got checked. Let's work a check off. We're going to work a check off? You'll try? Go ahead. What's your answer? Who? Yeah, that's the right answer. We ain't getting rid of no check, though. That's the right answer. I appreciate it. But you tried. That's all a man can do. He right, y'all. So think about this. Think about just the premise of that. I put offering over Yasharal. Fruitful. You know what? See, God was getting rid of, he was going to get rid of, he got rid of Yasharal. How much sense that make? Not at all. Why would it make sense? So in the garden, he put the ox there, he told him to do what? So what was his intent? So Alahym hadn't cast away his arm. You see, they're just reciting something. Versus, it doesn't make sense. You put a man over them, that name was fruitful. Because I intended to keep Yasharal. I never intended to get rid of the people I foreknew. I just had to do something in order to allow you to get in. Okay, so we understand what Asu, the one everybody going to get rid of, he going to kill. Why did the man daddy tell him that after he get tired, he was going to break his yoke off? I never intended to get rid of him. I don't know where people get this stuff from. His father clearly told him that after you get tired, you're going to break his yoke off. So it only gave him opportunity to graft in to an inheritance. But I'm going to turn back to this man. Just like I'm going to do with Yasharal, I'm going to turn back to him. For people to go and believe that, but he said I did it too, so he wouldn't magnify himself against Yehuda. Y'all remember something. Alahym, he told you, listen, man, you ain't the only person I'm keeping no bereft with. That's right. Yeah. Somebody told me, man, I hope that sun go down early. So when I do that, I got some people, what they believe is dependent upon it staying a certain amount of time. That's right. That's right. So you want to hurry up go down so you can go to sleep. But when I do this, it's going to be a problem with somebody I'm keeping a bereft with. Yeah. If I let you, I mean, it's just so many different things he's doing because I'm keeping so many. That's why I said, listen, man, he said, man, listen, I'm keeping bereft with thousands of them that are hard me. You ain't, this is why I prom come in, you ain't the only person I'm keeping no bereft with. You see what I'm saying? But typically we don't think like that. I got all these things I got to maintain and make sure they're done. There are people that came along, I swore some things to these people. And I got to make sure I fulfill them. And every one of them I gave them, I made it attached to something, tangible. Something that people could see and acknowledge there. I put it on something. I put the Shamash and the Yari, I put it on Daoud. I put the Kukabin with Abraham. I put so many different things together. I got to keep all this. So people that, get the understanding can more or less know how he's operating. Let me show you something. Pick me up right quick in the 10th chapter of the book of Romans. Since we're talking. Are y'all learning anything? I need to start writing up a script. So that way I just run down there and read my manuscript. I can be done. I know I can't write on that board with all these checks. I know it. We don't need that eraser. We need to keep up with these people. 10, 1. We're going to roll. Let's see what he told you. How about that? Let's see what he told us. And see if it makes sense. How about that? This R is not working. I'm going to get rid of this letter. We'll try it one more time. Possibly. Let's see. I ain't going to worry about it. That's a dumb, stupid letter anyway. That's what you do is something you can't do. It's dumb anyway. Mm-hmm. You call it dumb and stupid. All right, listen what he told you.
Akeem,
what?
My lob deepest desire and my palal to Alahym for Yasharal
the Lord is asking to Alahym for you. What happened?
Is for their Yeshua.
See that? For their deliverance, their salvation. Come on.
For I can testify to their zeal for Alahym.
The zeal we talk about is an enthusiasm for Alahym, but
It is not based on correct understanding.
See that? Knowledge. Da'ath. Listen what happened.
For since they are unaware of Alahym the rock,
So we use ignorant. Anytime you're aware of something, something hits you or whatever, you weren't aware of it, when you were ignorant. People don't want to say it, so unaware make people feel better. Ignorant. Just ignorant. They didn't know. Of what?
Alahym the rock,
Of his way. It say his right in the other one. But his way. His way is right, though. Listen.
of making Sadiq,
Of making people righteous.
and instead seek to set up their own.
See that? Instead, look what they did. They gonna put their own up. So you know what they did that one time before? It's similar in the 12th chapter of the book of 12, 13, 13, 13, 1, 12, 12. They went after they had split up, Yehuda, Yasharal. Yasharal had went and they made a golden calf. Beside the one they made before. And they know what they did. They put one in Bethel, house of Alahym. And the other one, they put it in Dan. They put it in Judge. And you ain't believe what happened with this thing. It became kata. He said it became a sin. For the people went to worship it. They shakad it. They made two of them. They made two calves. One they put in the house of Alahym. The other one they put in Dan, in judgment. They used it for judgment. They had the other one in the house of Alahym. He said this thing became a sin. He said for the people, they went up and they shakad it. So you know what happened with them? They were ignorant. Once they found out that they didn't have a part in Daoud and they left the house, they went out. What else they were going to do? They went to, at that point, they went to do what? They were listen. When they said, they said we ain't taking no correction. I'm being honest, man. Nobody gonna be putting their hands on me. I ain't taking no whipping. So first thing they did, because they weren't ignorant, they didn't know that he told this thing is of me. They didn't know it was of him. So that means they were ignorant. They didn't have da'ath knowledge. So what they do? They went to a staff. And who was this group that did? What was this group called? Yasharal. And who his Lord desire was for? Wow. Because of them not knowing. They didn't know that every son he received, he corrects. Since I don't know that, ain't nobody putting their hands on me. I'm just going to be honest, bruh. Ain't nobody finna be yelling at me, screaming at me, and no whips and all this junk. I'm gone. So when they left, because they didn't know, it made sense to create their own way. Only way I'm gonna make sense out of it. I gotta find where Yasharal did it. For those that don't know, 12th chapter of the book of Malaki, 12th chapter Kings, I think it is they call it. First chapter 12, 12th chapter, what they call First Kings. Anyway, come on.
They have not submitted themselves to Alahym the rock of making Sadiq.
And see, that's what happened. You know why a lot of us watching here and here are not where they need to be? Your questions just got answered right now. You haven't submitted yourself. Can we see what submit is? I know what you said. I don't talk back, but your lifestyle does. I ain't never arguing with preachers. Your lifestyle does. Your non-compliant is arguing and getting back. Accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. We ain't going to worry about another person. We're going to look at superior force or to the authority. You know what the book told us to do? It said, let every nefas be subject to the higher power. He said, there is not one except the Alahym. And said, whoever resisted, you resist the ordinances. Ordinances are laws that relate to a town or a country, municipality. Everybody, he told you, let every soul be subject. Every nefas supposed to be subject. Amazing. When you look up this, that's what it means. Let every, how many of y'all heard it before? Let every soul be subject to. He said, you do. He said, if you resist Alahym. And what you think gonna happen to you? Okay. But this is, I'm trying to help it. And this is what he said, and Yasharal wouldn't do that. Rehoboam, he was the malak. That was the higher power. He was the authority. And they were supposed to submit. Had they submitted, things would have went different, but at the same time, other nations wouldn't have got in, including you. Because we're a mixed multitude too. See that? So it had a reason, but he still went. Now, is that law gone? That's why you see where Yahushua came in. So we look at Yahushua as Pharaoh's mouth, who grafted them in to make them her sons, Benin, to deliver them from the wrath of the Torah. So you didn't know how you've been delivered. Not that you can go, that's why the book asks you, so shall we, what would they continue? That. Now what he could have did is went back there and played around that Hebrew house, that Aubrey house. He'd been continuing in Qatar. Because the Torah was to kill him. The Aubrey was to kill him, so it wouldn't have made sense for him to go around and hang around now, playing around now with the Aubrey clothes and stuff on. Wouldn't have made sense. Because I'm sure she forbade it. Hello? Because it asks you, how can we that been delivered from continue in it? He couldn't go back and stay there. You see what I'm saying? So you understand it. That's part of him being delivered from it. You can't go back. Just like when he delivered from behavior, you can't go back. Y'all got it. It's to completely exonerate you. It ain't where it's questionable. They got to pull you back in. No. That's why he told him before. He said, whoever the men set free. I know. He said, that got it. He said, that's it. He said, if I set you free, ain't nobody can go back and tell me, well, you still got a tap. He said, no, you don't. That's done. See, the reason why you go back, because it scares you with free, because you feel like you got to go back and pay something else. He said, no, that's free. That's done. There's no more obligation to that anymore. Y'all got it? And that's why it's so important for us to understand what he did. And because you don't process it that way, that's why you keep coming up, well, I got the fella again. Not if he said, I deliver you. Now you go and deliver yourself, you're exactly right. You're going to be back in there. He said, but not if I deliver you. You don't have no right where they would come every now and then, just grab Mushan in the collar, just remind him, wrinkle his clothes up. Throw some water on him, just get him wet. You know what I'm saying? Just let you know where you come from, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't be around here now, popping that mouth off. I just dash that little Nile water on you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Just throw it in the soil. Oh, you know how that nigga try to forget where he come from. He said, no, nobody did that. That's why you don't have no right. He was delivered. Every now and then they said, go ankle deep, nigga. Man, I'm just making it get ankle deep. I've been delivered. That don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. I've been delivered from that. And he asked before, we said, who shall deliver us from so great a death? That's what Pharaoh's daughter did. She delivered him from a death that everybody, listen, this went from every one of them, every male child. And she delivered him from, that's what Yahushua did. Every male, every woman, every boy, every girl is under Qatar. Except you be grafted in and become his being. So it's to your benefit. Hello? Then he came to do like Daoud. He came to take away the reproach. See, we had so many different avenues that this had to be attacked on. This wasn't one thing. It was more than just making you a son. Y'all got what I'm saying? So it was even coming, and then you had reproach on you, which was a disgrace. That's what he did. Remember Daoud came? That's what he came to do, to take the reproach off. See, some things were stated about you, about Yasharal, about Yehuda, about Yahuwah. And Daoud came and said, he said, this man said he's going to defy the living Alahym and Yasharal. He wasn't fighting for one, he was fighting for both ends. That's what he can't do, to take away the reproach. And you ain't going to believe what else is going to happen because he did that. He made his father's house free. He freed it. See, he had a purpose. That's why Yahushua knew, I can free you indeed. That old daddy, they ain't come and see him every 15 years talking about, yeah, nigga, where that money at, nigga? That junk in the pad. Nobody, no, he said, listen, whoever do this, that man father's house is free. He free. Listen, his father had to pay no debts. It was done. That's what he can't. See, you need to know this, and this is why he needed to be the being of Daoud. Because you keep worried about, do you still have a bill? Daoud came to take away the reproach and to make he said, I freed the house. That's why we look at connecting the lineage to the house of Yehuda. Because he set that free. Now he said, whoever the been set free is free indeed. You ain't gonna be, when Daoud set that free, Daoud was a son. Daoud was not a father. See, these are the things you don't think about. He did all this because he know your mind race. I hear what he's saying, but I don't call him. And then I got this. The man, I take away reproach. I graft in. I do all these things. Because he knows our mind run. He knows there's no way I can cover one thing with you. Because when they do, Satan always try to plant something else. That was a good message, wasn't it? He taught that thing. He wasn't talking to you though, nigga. Reproach and stain. You's a bastard. That's how he get us off. So it's important for us to get the knowledge. That's how you combat ignorance with knowledge. I don't know. So when I know, am I still in ignorance? Now I'm starting to deal with willful. Because I know and I don't do. Now it's willfully. It ain't no, don't go put that on saying, see, you got to know what state you in. Are we in willful or are we in ignorance? That's right, because now you get knowledge. So knowledge impedes, it overshadows, it overtakes ignorance. Okay? Let's see what he told us. Come on, finish this up so I can get y'all out of here.
For the goal at which the Torah aims is the Mashiach.
See that's the goal. They'll say the end of the law. This was his goal. Can we see what a goal is? Soccer goal. The object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. Now, you've been questioning, like they asked, what manner of love? This is a question being asked in Yehukanan. I would say he would know, but he asking because typically that's how we are. It's hard to imagine. Who are we? Who are you? Who in here feel like they're somebody? The average just really don't. Maybe off a certain thing, but really think about this. Who in here feel like they're somebody based off of all of the criteria and the attribute of the word? What denotes the actions of the ability of a person to be the son or daughter of Alahym? The average person don't meet the man, don't measure up to it. It's only because you don't have the knowledge of it. It's because nobody explained to you and you don't see it that way. Because they put it that you should be able to, why you got a car? I can't see no son of Alahym driving no car. You should be able to fly. See, people give you all that mystical type stuff, and it deflates you. And their deflating of you keeps you from getting the understanding. You can't grade yourself. I don't grade myself on what these people think. Or what these people say. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do it according to the rules. The rule is go back and look at the book. What did the book say? I said, let the book tell it. All right, let the book tell it. What y'all doing? So this is what it is. The object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result, intent. That was his intent. Y'all hear that? So that was the goal when he came. They think it was the end. No, I can't get you to a conclusion. All this was to get you to a conclusion, to get you to benefit. Hello? Cam, I'm gonna need a check. I just need a check, Cam. I can't put it on him. Ain't it better your daddy put that check up there? He said, yeah, thank you. That's right. Cam need to put that check. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at his goal and intent. Because that makes it seem like maybe he didn't want to do it, or maybe he wasn't trying to do it. No. He said that was my desire the whole time. That was my wish. Just to know that somebody intended, I intend to do this the whole time for you. That makes a difference. The whole time you were doing that for me. The whole time I was on your mind. The whole time you were willing to do that, then I'm asking you to obligate yourself too. I'm going to show you about obligating myself. And in doing that, I put other things aside. I put them aside. So you trying to encompass something and you trying to complete something, but you ain't laying nothing aside. Hello? Even they talk about every weight and the sin. He put his aim to the side, gave her away. He said, in order to complete this, I can't hold on to you. He told on him when he was on the two. He said, woman, behold your Ben, behold your mother. From that hour, they said from that time, she became his aim. He said that it's not beneficial for me now because of what I got to do. See, what we look at, and he was trying to show her, because it's hard to go tell the people, whoever follow me, you got to get rid of wife, husband, kids. They like, what that nigga got? What are they gonna give it? It's him and no. Why? First day you come out, I gotta give up something. Who ain't nigga? What you gave up? How you ain't got no wife? Of course you gonna preach that. So think, cause you looking for every reason to justify why you ain't. Sure, you can say that you ain't got no battle. You're ugly. Then it ain't you're ugly behind. You can't get them out. Of course you gonna holler them and say, think about it. We are people of habit. When we hear something that becomes hard on us, we start looking for reason to justify why we can't and why somebody else can do it. If I look like that, I can be by myself the rest of my life. Because we always trying to get out of something. That's why he had to cover so much. Look, why he had to wall in the donkey? That's us. He said, you always try. Why you think I kept the way narrow? Because you'll get out the way. You're going to get out the path. First opportunity you get, you cutting and running. I got to wall you in. Because I know you. I know you. You're going to cut and run. And it's too really good to know that you're shakar, you're a door, that you serve under a bar, you serve under somebody that understands that about you, that knows there are things you can't utter. There are things you can't put, even talking, you can't put everything into words, but he knows. That's the good thing about serving. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to micromanage him in a palau. I know. Even when he told him, he said, why you give thought for this stuff? He said, Alahym already knows this. He knows it. He said, what was it, 5 sparrows sold for a veteran? He was trying to get in the price. He said, and ain't one of them that fall, he said he don't know about. Even the hairs on your head, he said they numbered. Let you know how particular he was about you. And everything he did to design you. Because you feel like you just a mishap. Somebody might have grown up, parent probably told him, I hate the day you were born. So that make you feel like they ain't even intend for me to be here. He said, but I did. Because it didn't come by. That's the same thing we learned about Yahushua. It wasn't by the will of man. To prove it to you, that's why he allowed a woman to become impregnated without him. He said it wasn't by the will of man. Because you keep, you know what? How many of y'all, you can find me. I'll lose everything I got. You can lock me up. He said, that's why I wouldn't use a man, because I know how you think. It's somebody you feel because you think they got some final say factor. He said, that's why I wouldn't let it come by a man. Because I didn't want you to think a man controlled it. It wasn't by he said, by my will. I desired that way. You think Joseph wouldn't looking at, he was going to marry her, you didn't think he want to bang her? He said, but I didn't want his will there. I wanted my will. My will. Because I'm telling you, I know we all been guilty of that. Thinking somebody control and somebody can hold you. And nobody can't do no more than he said they can't do. Only what I let them. Only when you understand it, you realize this is will. That's not what? You heard me? I said, it's his will. The man got you a savior here. No man, just say he to marry her. Don't you know, people don't even realize, y'all do know there are people that get married that don't have sex. Okay. There are people that get married not for sex. They stay platonic. They could have easily married and stayed platonic. I like to live with you, have you for coming, I want to lay with you. That would have stopped you from salvation, he'd have did that. You was like, I can't take a chance. This can't be by the will of man. It's got to be by me. That's why he made man in his image and his likeness. He ain't go see no other group. He ain't go to the boys club. He ain't go see the Boy Scout or the Club Scout. He said, that's what I want. I made a man. That's what I want. I needed a man. I need a man that can rule and govern. That man can operate and function just like I do. Identical. Exact. No difference. Y'all got it? Because there are people, I know you guys do, we all been guilty, you think controlling something. And these people had to say, they had the power. That's why Yahushua told Paul, he said, I asked you something, you didn't answer me? He said, don't you know I got the authority? I can say you die, I say you live. He said, ho. He said, you don't have no authority on me except they come from him. He said, that's it. He said, therefore the one that delivered me to you, they got the greater condemnation. He said, let not the real. You don't have that authority. Everything you got, it come from Alahym. And you need to know that. I ain't telling y'all to recite that to everybody's mouth, to their face. It's just knowledge you need to know. Because people will make you feel like, man, you don't know who you effing with. I could destroy your whole life. I pick this phone up, I make one call. That's it. Them numbers you dial, he the one can stop your finger. Rigor mortis. Okay. When y'all talking, there was a man that reached to the altar in the 13th chapter of Alahym. We stretched for the hand, his hand locked up and withered. Right when he went to touch, listen, Yahuwah he's standing assured. The foundation of Yahuwah standeth assured. That's why he said, let every each that named in Shem of Yahushua HaMashiach, you're supposed to depart from iniquity. Y'all hear it? The foundation standing sure. That rock there is not going to be shaken. Y'all got it? It ain't moving. So when you have that confidence and it's based off of experience, based off of knowledge, then you don't have so much in the people to where people deflate you. People deflate you. Because you feel like they can't do no more than he let them. That's all anybody can do is what he let them. It's good to know. You know, if that's the case, why you serving Alahym when you battling people? And he can't do nothing with people. All these people out here that living these lives going their way are only doing what he allows. Because I'm going to show them people that have maintained a character to be exact, to be not a difference. And this is going to come up against them. That's why he let them know when they came down, when he looked at the people and how they repented, when they heard the teachings of Unah, he taught them, he said, greater here than Unah. He told them how the Malkah, who they call the queen of Sheba, how she came from the further side to hear the Da'ath of Solomon, they call Solomon. He said, greater here than Solomon. He let the folk know folk were going to rise up in the marsh pot with them, and they're going to condemn them. He said, they repented. Don't you know that's why he put y'all in these circumstances, situations? Because how many of y'all battle and fight, it's all like on a constant against things and coming? How many of y'all do it? It's a constant. Y'all have to raise your hand. How many of you are victorious in it? You don't have to raise your hand. Don't you know he's only had this state because it's somebody that's saying it can't be done? It's somebody saying, I tried it. It don't work. He's got to have it that way. See, if I don't have nobody to judge him by, then I can't condemn him. It's of necessity. By all means, Shaul said, I must save some. He said, I must save some. Because I got to come up into you. I got to have some people that I can compare to say, this is why you're going to be condemned. Will that be a witness? That's all he needs, a witness. Isn't that right? Even Shaul said he did good. He left not himself without a witness. And in that, you ain't going to believe what he said he did. What? He did too, and did what? Look how it makes. See that? All that validated. You can't give me, how you give me fruit for season, pottery season, and you don't give me the rain? The Ma'im come to feed us. So they put me in Jerusalem. He put me there, he said, because I give you the first and the latter rain. That's what he said I give them. That's how I stay fruit. They looked at it. That's how he was able to measure about and see behavior. I gave you the first rain, and I give you the latter. They need one more before they go to in-gather. That's what they gave. I need them one when they plant. I give them one when they in-gather. Let them know. This how you, and now, when you got the rain, you got the pari. It comes from the ground, which means you did something right, son. You're doing something right. People need something to measure it by. I can't have them just sitting here, how you know you're doing right? Because it's a feeling you get. No. He gave them fruitful seed. He didn't say he gave them the Holy Ghost. No. They had something that they can compare it with. It was in its season. Everything will happen. Just like when we keep the muhat, they're in a seed. You know what? When you feeling good in the Lord, every day is a muhat. But where you find it at written? Because the first one you got is Shabbat. Where you getting all these every days? I'm going to show you that by them. He said, we'll be having a muhat tomorrow. I like muhads. He get to eat. Shane want that eating all the time. He saying, can you have a muhad next week? He one of them things regular, boy. You remember that, Shane? He had that eating problem then. That was back. That before 65% of women were sluts or whatever they was. Gold diggers. It was before then. Back then, they would have had them clean hoes back. They were clean women. And we ain't had no muhad. Shane just allowed the 65% of women are gold diggers. So these are the things that we start using and start looking at, because that's how they can measure themselves. Y'all got it? And that's what we start using. That's why we look at the bar, because we use it so we can measure ourselves to see whether or not you're growing, whether or not you're productive, whether or not he's giving us. And if he's not, then it's time to consider. It ain't time, well, he cut me off. I guess I can go on back. No. He said, just time to consider. And sometimes he might cut you off. It ain't because something happened, because I need to see that you're not following out other people for the fish and the loaves. See, in the 6th chapter, 21st verse of the book of Ukanon, they went looking for Yahushua, and they found him. He was on the other side. They said, when came you? Said they were looking for him. He was on the other side. He said, you were looking for me because you ate the fish and you were filled. He told them not to labor for the meat that perishes. He said, but that would lead to alarm kai. Because they were all up folks, stomach, where that joke at? Hey, Jesus, I'm hungry. And they called him like he wanted him. Bring me a hamburger. They know. He said that he looked at what they were looking for. Their endeavor was to get something temporary. That's why he looked at, you're not trying to get a permanent fix. That's why people don't make it in here long, because you're looking for a permanent fix. You know what I'm saying? I got a bill coming up. I got a court date. I need to be saved. So the Lord don't let me go to jail. Then I'm gonna do right now. Once your court date, you labor for meat that's gonna perish. Go to McDonald's and tell them Jesus sent you. Get the fish fillet. It should taught us all because I hate it. But I'm saying people look for things that's not, eternal. You know what I'm saying? Got endurance with it. And that's what we have to start looking at. He gave us something. He left us something where you have a more endurance with it. I'm going to finish this up so I get y'all out. Come on. For the goal at which the Torah aims at the Mashiach, who offer Sadiq to everyone who
trust.
Come on.
For Mushah, Katab about the Sadiq.
See, he wrote about it. He wrote about it. What happened?
About the Sadiq grounded in the Torah, that the person who does these things will attain Kai through them.
See that? And you think they didn't? They did it. He didn't kill them. For the people that didn't do it, the people who didn't transgress, he left it. They understood it. They obtained it for a period of time. They did obtain it for a period of time. There were people he killed immediately. He told you he killed 23,000 people in one day. Them people saw it. And who know who he killed? The people who didn't live by it. The people who lived by it, he let them continue. Then he cut some more off later. Some of them murmuring and grumbling, he cut them off later. And you know why he cut them off? Because the Torah told him about that. There's a lot of stuff folk do you shouldn't be doing. That's why he got them folk. Them complainers, a lot of stuff he like, they shouldn't be doing it, because I taught them about it. So at that point, I started taking these people down so people realize not to be like these people. Come on.
Moreover, the Sadiq grounded in trusting says, do not say in your law, who will ascend to Shamayim.
See that what they think? I said, man, somebody go out there and go get him. He said, don't say that in your law. Come on.
That is to bring Mashiach down.
Come on.
Or who will descend into Sheol. That is to bring the Mashiach up from the move.
You see that? That's what folk were looking at. Who were going to go up and get him? And see, this started, I think, about the 30th chapter of Alahym.
Yes, sir.
They had that conversation. They want to know about it, and they want to know who's going to go across the Yom and get it. People trying to consider how they're going to happen. Yeah, people can say, he told us, we don't even say it. Listen to what he told us.
What then does it say? The Debar is near you in your paw and in your law.
That's right. That is?
The Debar about trust which we proclaim.
See that? And what we preaching. He said, we're going to do it. Listen.
Namely, that if you acknowledge publicly with your paw that Yahushua is Adon, and trust in your law that Alahym cum him from the moot.
Tell them what happened, son.
You will be delivered.
Y'all hear that? That's it. You'll be delivered if you do that. You know what he just told you to do? Listen to what he told you.
For with the law, one goes on trusting.
That's what he do.
and thus continues toward Sadiq.
That's what he do.
While with the Pa, one keeps on making public acknowledgement and thus continues toward deliverance.
See, that continue is the noon. You see all this keep happening because you putting these things into practice. This allows you to go further. The problem you got with y'all, you never confessed it. He's already told you because you don't believe in your law. I tell you that I'm vulnerable, then nothing don't happen. That's what you miss every time. We just told you it's the truth. You had to believe it in their law. And then they got to confess it with their mouth. These are public acknowledgments. That's what they told in order to be delivered. So you don't do it and you ain't going to believe it. Not delivered. Therefore, you are still in your kataim. These are simple practices. Listen to what he told you. Let's see if you pick up something else. Listen.
For the passage quoted says that everyone who rests his trust on him will not be humiliated.
Y'all hear what he just said? So you look at what you call it, he said, won't be ashamed. He told you he would not put you to shame. James don't tell you. It said, whosoever believes on him shall not be ashamed. So you know, I'm not ashamed of him. That's not what he was talking. He was saying he won't put you to shame. You see how he shamed Abraham when he left his father in the house? You ain't going to believe it. Why? Because he believed it. And he confessed he's not going back. See, that's why y'all think Abraham didn't go back to his father's house? He ain't had no love for him. He hated him. All he do walk around you to kick rocks. I hate that nigga. I hate all them other niggas too. I hate myself, nigga. No. Abraham took a stand because he believed in his heart. Why you think you don't do what why you think you don't continue? Because you don't believe it in your heart. That's why you won't confess it. You won't acknowledge it publicly. So he's trying to tell you what to do. Listen to what he told you. He said, because the same Alahym is rich upon all them that call upon him. That's what he told you.
That means that there is no difference between the Yehudi and Goyim.
What happened?
Yahushua is the same for everyone, rich toward everyone who calls on him.
Let me ask you a question, Lee. I'm kind of confused. So could you read that again?
That means that there is no difference between Yehudi and Goyim.
Would that be identical?
Yes, sir.
I'd be slow. Not a difference?
That's right.
What does it say?
Yahushua is the same for everyone, rich toward everyone who calls on him.
So he lavishes everybody that call upon him, that follow the same exact thing.
Right.
Out of any Goy, any nation. I mean, if any nation would follow the same protocol, that would be the same thing. That would be identical, which means it's not a difference. Right. See, they looking at this is the stupidity of Hebrew Israelites. See, white folk can't be saved because they're white. Then dumb white folk, they're Christian. Black folk can't be saved because they're black. But the book has said, and it proven itself from when they came out of Mizraim, that there was no difference between a Yehudi, a Yasharal, and the other Goyim that came out. For the same Alahym was lavished, every one of them. To prove it, guess what everybody came out there with that? You ain't gonna believe they came out of Mizraim with $2 a piece. What they had? Like what kind of substance? A whole bunch of pig feet, oxtail, gold. You know what he was doing? He was lavishing them because he was letting them know, you're my son. I declared that. And he called them that. He told Pharaoh he lavished. You know why? Because they were. He told Pharaoh to let who go? And he lavished them with gold because that's what they were. They're my son. I lavished them. I wanted to know I gave them all this stuff. See, everybody thinks it's about them going and preaching and teaching about getting gold and getting a fat necklace. No. They were carnal people. Think about it, I'm getting ready to come out. I've been in poverty. I've been in destitute. I've been without my own. I've been in captivity. I'm freeing you, and these folks giving it to you. Take this, take this. You think, what am I going to do with all this stuff? I'm lavishing you because you're my son. I'm giving you an inheritance. See, when they read, they're trying to read to justify can they get a necklace. That's not what he was trying to get them to do. He was getting them, this is where you understand that. The people that ruled over them had it. You know, they looked at, I want to be a ruler. To get see, when he sat Joseph up, and he said that what he gave him? The ring. How you think people acknowledge him? Because he looked, this is the son of Pharaoh, and how I know? Because he's wearing his ring. He put his ring on him. He gave him this stuff, which means he lavished this on him. He made him ride in the second chariot. He made everybody bow. You don't think it's overwhelming? I just got out of jail. I got a ring. I'm in a chair. Everybody bowing. Nobody can do nothing. Listen, do like this right here. If you'd have done that, and that man didn't tell you to do it, he'd have killed you. Pharaoh himself would have killed you. Nobody lift up a finger unless he tell you. Every one of us have been dead. That's by the order of Pharaoh. Don't you lift a finger. Nothing be done. If you got something you want to do, you better not run to me. Go to him. That's how we acknowledge him. That's why we acknowledge him. See, I ain't got time to go on no son. I just going straight to the daddy. You shouldn't. Because the Abba told everybody, acknowledge the son. But the daddy won. I said, see the son. Make sense? You need to understand why things are put in play. I need you to acknowledge the son. Y'all got it. And acknowledge the son, you don't know. You're acknowledging me. Because I set the son up. I set the son up, and I need you to acknowledge, because you're acknowledging my will. He came and was set up by my will. So for you not to do it is for you to be against me and my will. Father, I stretch my hand to follow ground, broken by a thundering sound. Pick up the pieces and pass on all. Go ahead and get that check, kid. They ain't come from nowhere. Yeah. You done done something you just don't know it. Deep down in nowhere land, he did something. So, y'all understand now? Why it's important for us to get an understanding. That's how they knew he came. Because they looked at all these events happen, and they was recorded, but nobody understood them. They were just basically stories. That's all. They're not stories. These are life events that allow us to understand the passion he had for us. Y'all got it? That's a passion, an urge. He really had a real desire for us. You know what I'm saying? This ain't just a fluke whim that he just changed. He said, I don't change. I want you. You were under, I made you. Why y'all think other people don't accept you? Y'all don't know, how many of y'all have noticed that once you converted, changed to, there's a difference with other people with you? Because you were called undesirable. They don't make sense. The world wants you and I want you. No, the world don't want you. That's why I want you. That's why I want you, because I chose you. They don't want you, do they? That's why I want you. They want you. Everybody want me. The world want me. Women want me. Men want me. Everybody. Homosexuals want me. God want me. You something, nigga, you sick. No, when you become property of Alahym, folks don't want nothing to do with you. These people don't, you understand the difference? That's what you would call. You would call a nation undesirable. You are undesirable. They had a movie years ago they called Misfits. That's what you're a misfit. Folks trying to smoke crack, you won't smoke it. You holding people up. And he looked at, listen, why y'all think they moved? When they started building, you know the hardest brick they had trying to move around Harder One. Yahushua? That big old stupid thing, that rock don't go nowhere over there. It didn't went nowhere. First thing he looked at it, all the other rock fit, but this one. So they said, what are we doing? They said, get rid of it. He said, the stone that they disallowed, they rejected. He said, I'm going to make that the head corner. And I'm going to let him hold the block down. Yahushua trapping? Put a check up there. We not. Every time I hear that, my blood ready to boil up. Hey man, Yahushua trapping? He was the rock. He wasn't set in rock. Next time he'll know you start writing them lines. Ain't that right? That man was the rock. Man, like he's selling rock. But you understand that? That's what you have to realize, how you can see that you start to measure up. He was rejected. He was despised. Why y'all think people gotta hate you? It don't matter how you treat them. They're gonna hate you because they watch you. And let me tell you what y'all don't know. People watch you, don't know they watching. People watch you. They watch you. That's a difference. Let somebody say Christian, you get here. They said, what church you said? No. I always said, son, they said, son of God. Hey, y'all done been stopped, you say that. You said church, don't phone no question. You say son of God. They said, son of God. They don't do that to no Jewish people, though. They be trying to figure out. So they be looking at you, you know they want to ask you. You don't look like no Jew. Be like, yeah, I know what you want to say. Your mama don't look like one either. But keep going. Keep going. No, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? See, I have authority. I can no. I'm going to judge tell me one time. He said, yeah, he can't. He said, yeah, preacher. He said, what that is you could do? I know you're going to open up. I said, what? He said, you said, there's some things you can do we can't do. Then you drunk that water. You can drink, can't you? I said, what? That man get it going. That man believed, he had a strong doctrine. We was sitting out, we had walked the top of Stone Mountain. We walked, we come back down, sit down. He said, you seen? I said, what? Oh, girl. I thought somebody was seen walking around. No, I ain't see it. Who? Rahab. I said, Rahab. Rahab the harlot. I said, seen her where? You seen? He said, seen her. I said, she alive to the day. I said, what? I said, she would literally be an old hoe. I said, alive to the day? They had to go back and look at when Yahushua, who they call Joshua, wrote it. When he wrote about her, she was living then. That's why he was letting her know she was. So when he read it, he looking at it. That's what's up. Josh, I'm gonna need that check too. Come on, put that check up here. That's what's up. Yeah, right. That's what's up. That's what's up. But I appreciate y'all guys. I know I went on a while, and I appreciate Mr. Yahuwah. But the goal and the object here is to get understanding. That's what he said, while we perishing. That's why we keep finding ourselves in the fault, because we lack the da'ah. When we get it and understand it with simplicity, then you have less of an opportunity for failure. You have more of an opportunity for failure when you don't know. When you just study to recite versus you study so you can get command of, it makes a difference of the effect and how you carry yourself and how you do, and you look at things when things happen. You really start to weigh and measure, and that puts us back to where? Just wait. Which means that's a constant check. Everything I pour out some, and now they're full, and I got another one. I said, I got to get these to the same level. What was he teaching them? To keep a balance. That's a balance. Think about it, you got to go through everything when you use things. You got to be conscious when you use things of where other things are. Who does that? Think about it. I'm using this. Say this salt. I got to go back through the flour. I got to go back through the meal. I got to go through, because I got to make sure everything's keeping us. I got to make sure I'm keeping a balance. You got what I'm saying? It's that when I use stuff up, it's almost going to be impossible because I'm constantly keeping things to a certain weight. You see what I'm saying? When they all get, I got to make sure I'm refilling. So I'm constantly where I'm never without. What we do now, we use up all of what we like, and we got all this other stuff we don't ever use. I appreciate Mr. Yahuwah. That's two.